Hey guys, welcome back to. Well, I shouldn't say welcome back. Welcome, because this is brand new. Welcome to a new Star Wars podcast I'm going to do on Sundays. And I think I'm going to make this, even though there's not always Star Wars news. Oh, crap. My face is down here. I think I might make this an actual regular Sunday thing where we'll just talk about Star Wars stuff. And if there's not news, we'll fill it with other, maybe we write our own stories. I was going to do a podcast a long time ago called War Masters. A bunch of different Star Wars people that like tried to create their own lore and stuff. Okay. Oh crap! We had him. God, sent him a new link, but it kicked him out. But so guys, so I know we had a couple chats to read first before we get started, but we are going to watch this Star Wars Theory trailer for the first time. He tried to. But I kicked him out.
His audio's messed up. Like he tried so many times.
Minecraft fan, I read it a little bit, but I didn't read all of it. So I will read it again when I get the chance. Minecraft fan. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream.
Welcome, people. Welcome. I say we'll leave it for now. Leave Mark for now because he joined literally like 10, 15 times and he wasn't like no audio.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on with him. Okay, so let me pull this. So I gotta get this off the ad. We're gonna watch this really short. We're going to watch a trailer with you guys. It won't get copyright claimed or blocked because it is just a content creator's fan movie, no other big corporations. So we shouldn't get in trouble for it. But I've yet to see it, and I'm a huge Star Wars Theory fan. So I think we're going to quite enjoy this.
Yeah, you're going to enjoy it, man.
Listen, because this is an ad about how to get rid of ads. I mean, we hate them, right? These things that interrupt our video.
Okay, ad's done. Okay. Now let's see what's going on in the chat real quick before I hit play. Okay. I got it on the screen. Joe, off topic, did you not see my whoops, he said off topic. Yeah, I said I didn't read it yet, my friend. I'm gonna read it soon. All right, so how many people do we have in the chat? And this weird function with this screen, I can't see.
Yeah, let me check right now. It should be about 7 people.
It says 7 people. Okay.
Yeah.
I see it at the top of the screen now.
Cool.
Send me a link and I give it to him. Okay. You want the link in the chat for you, Retro, or do you want it sent directly to you? Yeah, I didn't read your post on Minecraft fan. I still need to. I know you commented on my stuff. But okay, let me send Retro Lad the link real quick before we watch this. Okay. I'll put it in the I'll put it in the chat so you can link it to Mark Retro. There you go. Try and see if that helps him.
Let me get the smartphone.
Whoops, I just heard someone say at the point. Mark, wait, okay. And Mark's trying again? All right. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Do you hear us yet? Hello? I wonder why he still can't hear us. I've never had problems with audio on here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully he'll get it figured out. Oh, is someone else trying to join? I just saw someone join the link. Yeah, it's probably gonna be silver. Stupid. Yep, that's not happening. That's shows him, but it's pretending to be silver. I guarantee it.
Oh, silver. Okay.
There's the link I put in the chat. I don't care though. I'm smart enough to not let him in.
Yeah.
I don't mind the link being in the chat in case any other Star Wars fans want to come in. Because I can control, I'll know every time it's silver. Because if someone wants to come in, it will show their face on it. And
the issue is I still can't hear you guys. You can hear me, right? Like, give the thumbs up if you can hear me.
We hear you.
So let's see here.
We hear you, my friend. I know Mark's not a huge Star Wars Theory guy, so I don't think he'll mind that we watch this. delete the link off the chat? Yeah, I will.
Here. Wow. Okay, that's not gonna work.
It's not working. How do I go to YouTube and delete it? All right. Yeah, so we're just waiting to get this figured out, guys. Sorry, we're having an issue with our friend. Our co-host is having some issues getting his things sorted out real quick. But we'll get this taken care of. It's not a problem. Get my audio off this real quick. And okay, delete the link. And your server is going to try and join. Okay. It's Eastern. Let's turn on the super chat. Let's try Super 5. Let's set them to all colors. $2. And there should go. What'd you say? Just real quick. I want to delete the link fan film for you guys. And other fun.
Okay. So I should be here.
Yeah. You're here.
Can you hear us now?
5. 7, 2. Yeah, it's weird. We hear you.
Still don't think you can hear us.
What did you say? What kind of? I want to delete the link fan film for you guys. And other fun. Okay.
So I should be here.
Yeah, we hear you. You're here.
So here's the issue. I have a YouTube video on right now. So I can hear through there,
Yeah,
but I can't hear through my phone. And so there is going to be a lag right now.
Okay. So what kind of? Did you join the stream through?
So I should be here.
Yeah, we hear you. You're here.
So here's the issue. I have a YouTube video on right now. So I can hear through there, but I can't hear through my phone. And so there is going to be a lag right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of? Did you join the stream
So I unfortunately am going to have to leave because there's no way to have a conversation. It's this link right now.
No worries. We'll figure it out.
So I can hear through there, but I can't hear through my phone.
Yeah, no worries.
Right now.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You join the stream?
Yeah, Mark's gone. All right, cool. We'll have to carry him around, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll figure it out with him another time. It's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will have different audio, makes it difficult.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enter this real quick. All right. He would need to use it. He said he doesn't have headphones.
He said he doesn't. Yeah, he said he don't have it. He doesn't have it. So
sorry, it didn't work out, Mark. I wish you had headphones or some other mic that would make it.
Just talking the chat if you're still around anyway.
Yeah, if you want to still interact in the chat, you're welcome to stay in the chat. Okay, so sorry guys about that. We were just trying to figure some things out. Let's watch this trailer real quick.
Watch the trailer, man.
And then we will see what happens. All right. So let me pull this up, and then let me go back to my. Oh dang! I can't do it that way. Okay, so I can react to it, but you guys won't see me openly. But that's okay because I can play it.
Oh my god. Wookiee Jedi. See, that's a Wookiee Jedi you can do, right? The way he lands is like everything.
He literally just made this for fans. Yeah.
Besides
So
like Star Wars Visions, like that's.
Yeah, he worked hard to make sure it was. Oh,
I did not expect that quality.
Definitely.
Well, the first movie was pretty decent. Like it wasn't
the first one was like, I think that was live action, wasn't it? The first one.
Yeah.
But this is CGI, so like But I
bro,
didn't
that
expect
music goes fucking hard. Like
I know.
And I believe he used Samuel Kim. Now I am kind of bummed that we didn't get to see Mace Windu in this trailer, but I think they're saving that. Mark went dark. There's still me though. Oh yeah, so that's just something related to Star Wars, guys, that came out that Theory's been working on for a long time. Make sure you give him a lot of support, and I'm gonna do my own reaction video where you see me solely reacting to it and share my full thoughts, and I'm gonna fully immerse myself into like just giving this man as much credit as he deserves because he worked hard on this. I think he said he was working on this for several years,
6-7 years, I think.
Yeah, and like what happened is he had one team he worked with, and they all kind of took advantage of him and flaked on him, and then they were the people that he hired. Happy Star Wars Celebration Underground.
Happy Star Wars.
So they were flaking him, and like they gave him script ideas, but he was like, "This is not what I want. This is not my vision."
Yeah.
And so he like fired like 10 people. Dude, like this is not what we're creating. This is not what the fans want. This is not what I want. They just were not understanding or working with him in what his vision was, which is just horrible. It's just not right. But so I did have I did have some of the topics written down, and we can dive into them. So let's talk about. Let me see if I can pull up the synopsis. Let's talk about what we know of about the Sean Levy movie now. We now have details on the Sean Levy movie. So I'm going to read the article word for word, and then we're going to give our shot. We'll go through all the topics that's announced, and then we'll each give our take on it. Right? So let's see. Where is in this podcast going to be a future thing? I hope. Yes, it will be.
Yeah, it'll be.
I'm going to try and do it every Sunday.
Yeah.
Try and keep it to a strict every Sunday focus. I had a sizzle announcer trailer for that one. Where's the news about? It's nice that the Star Wars Games Zero Company is already gotten a 2016 release date. Josh might join. Keep an eye out. Okay.
2026. Oh yeah, for real. Yeah, it's getting a different 2026 release date. I think that's going to be good because we haven't had a turn-based game for a while from Star Wars. The last one I think was obviously Knights of the Republic, but and then I think before that there was a couple in the 2000s. I guess Empire at War and things like that. But yeah, that was mainly RPG. But yeah, I think Zero Company should be a good thing. I was hoping to hear more on Jedi Fallen Order 3.
Yep.
Because I wanted to see what direction they're gonna go with. But I was hoping to see a teaser, but since not, it's cool. We might, because Summer Game Fest is around the corner, and then obviously there's the Game Awards at the end of the year, so we could see something then for both of those events.
Maybe that's what they're waiting for because it's game based and only some game news was ready. Okay, so here's what we know about. So the movie is announced to be Star Wars Jedi, not Jedi, Star Wars. Just Starfighter is the title right now. Directed by Sean Levy.
Yeah.
It will star Ryan Gosling in the lead role.
Yeah.
It's a good job in playing Final Fantasy VII, been fun-based game. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna play that, and then I'll play the remake, and then I'll get to play this new and I'm gonna play this new Star Wars game. Because this Star Wars game, I'm newer to the turn-based type of games. Yeah. But I'll say this. When they said it was Clone Wars era, and just based on what I've seen from the trailer screenshots of playing as clone troopers, I was like, I'm in. I just hope that the characters you get are expanded. Like, I hope it's not just all clones. I hope we get a guy in there, and I hope we get familiar faces. Yeah. We got to get a Star Wars game multiplayer experience and story experience where you get to play as like Cad Bane, teaming up with like a bunch of clones or something.
Yeah. I think they said you have 5 presets, but then you can still make your own characters for like 5 different characters.
Oh wait, so you say you can make your own characters in there as well as playing?
Yeah, in there as well. Yeah,
characters?
I think something
Okay,
like that.
that's sweet.
It's it, man. I think that's good because I haven't
team it up with some things.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when it comes to turn-based for me, I feel like I think the only turn-based I've dealt with is probably like what Final Fantasy. I haven't played much RPG turn-based type of games.
I really wanted to like what was it called? I really wanted to try Midnight Suns and really like it, and I just could not get in.
I think I didn't even bother. I thought at first it looked really good, but then I thought
the card thing intrigued me. Like I like the card concept.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
So this report, despite happening at Star Wars Celebration, the information comes from Deadline. So now I've seen people talk about that. The fact it's called Starfighter. Some people wondered if it was based on the Jedi Starfighter games or just Starfighter games. But then Jedi Starfighter was the sequel.
Yeah.
Now, what we know is this is what Levy said. Set 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. So 5 years after Rise of Skywalker, looks like the Maul lockdown won the vote. Yes. So I don't know if you saw, but I did a poll. We can talk about this for a minute. I'm going to make my own fan film. That's what I'm trying to get money for. And I wanted to be about Maul because I love Darth Maul. So I'm going to shave my head and go all out and go crazy. Right. And so what I was gonna do was I did a poll to see should I adapt the Clone Wars arc they haven't done, which is Son of Dathomir.
Yeah.
The Maul fights Count Dooku. I think it's Count Dooku, Grievous, and even Palpatine's there.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see.
Interesting. That'd be interesting. Son of Dathomir. That's the thing they've not touched really, where it kind of explains Son of Dathomir. So it would be kind of good to go for that.
So first of all, Silver, I'm gonna drop some knowledge for you. Silver, I am a single man now. So what you want to try and expose me to, you can't expose me to. Though I caught you on Threads talking to girls. Just because you saw me on Threads, or you think you saw me on Threads, I'm single now, bro. So whatever you think you got doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna say that while I ban you, but just know that your facts that
this guy, man.
You shouldn't bring that to the stream because it really doesn't have any effect. You're literally just becoming to be a predictable bot. If you want, I don't get why you are still after me. Is this really just about me saying that Kreese was going to be the main villain of Part 1 of Cobra Kai? This is really what
you stop upset about that, man.
You need to just move on, bro.
Yeah.
And then you think you want to attack me as a content creator, you want to expose me, you want to ruin my reputation. Nobody trusts you, bro.
Anyway,
no matter what you do, it won't matter.
Anyway, but yeah, what did they say about the Starfighter, that Star Wars Starfighter movie?
I was just furious, but I was talking to Underground about. He was asking about the poll for my Maul lockdown.
Yeah.
I did this poll for a fan film I want to do, and so Son of Dathomir has been a requested one because it's an arc that they didn't animate in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And if I did that, I would have to save all my super chats and all the money I make and try and find a way to get with someone that knows animation.
Yeah.
And make it animated. Right?
So you want it to be an animated film? Or live
If
action?
I did that one, it would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cole confirms it's going to be live action. So, because the other choice was, is it on my desk over here? Oh, no, it's over there. But so I have a book I've read multiple times called Maul Lockdown. And so I said, should I do Maul Lockdown or should I do Son of Dathomir? Even though people know what Son of Dathomir is, everybody voted for Maul Lockdown.
Yeah.
I'm actually not surprised because if you know the story of Lockdown, as much as we love Jedi and Sith and we love them having lightsabers, Maul wouldn't have a lightsaber until the end of the movie because it's going to be basically me as Maul getting into cage fights on a ship. So
that'll be sick.
In the book, Maul's trapped on a prison barge. He's a prisoner, and he goes and is fighting for his life. It's like Bloodsport, but Darth Maul. I think that's literally how I'm going to sell it. It's Bloodsport, but Darth Maul. And if I do it, unlike Disney, I could probably, with the right editing and the right material, I could probably make it pretty brutal. I could probably find a way to make it look pretty real. Because there's fake blood. up there and
That'd
good
be
animation.
a good aspect, man. Because I mean, yeah, more lockdowns kind of like that. It's like flipping. What is it? How can you put it? It reminds you can go in that you know in Shang-Chi when they're cage fighting, like you can go in that direction kind
That's
of
what
thing.
I was
So,
thinking
yeah,
about. Actually,
you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
well, I got the inspiration.
like, it's interesting.
Cobra Kai. I want to see more of that, those type of characters that don't fit in Cobra Kai having that like cage fighting experience. And then
therefore.
so I think I'll announce that in an actual video announcing that mall lockdown is finally happening because I was doing my Cobra Empire film, but I think now I'm going to put the focus on getting mall lockdown because Star Wars theory is making me feel like that good Star Wars should be focused on.
Yeah.
Like if Disney's going to keep cranking out shit, then we need to make good shit for the fans. The fans of the future. And so I think that's where am I at, Zarkus? What do you mean by where am I at? In the process of the film?
But yeah.
I'm writing it. It's still very fresh off the writing. One reason I picked this film idea is that one of my biggest issues with my other movie is I need all my friends to be around me because I need them to be here to film their scene. With this movie, I don't need anyone. I need a team, yes. But on camera, I should be able to just put together some clips of me fighting some random like robots or opponents and stuff with the right editing and the right software. I can just show me doing a bunch of martial arts moves and make me look like I'm fighting opponents.
Yeah.
It should work out.
Therefore.
I was going to do something where with the right editing, because you know how iMovie works, where you can splice clips together.
Yeah.
I was going to do something where I'd have like my friends that are also martial artists send clips of me of them like in their fighting stances and fighting, and then mesh it with me like fighting. In fact, like I was going to do for a teaser instead of the movie since I don't have the costume or anything yet, I was going to put some Star Wars music over the top of it, but put a teaser that's very misleading because I wouldn't have a lightsaber or anything. I wouldn't even make it look like it's Star Wars, but it has Star Wars music. And then it's going to say mall lockdown, choreography tease at the end. So I think I might eventually make that, but I think for right now, I think we're just going to do a video where I announce that I'm doing the film. Yeah, I am writing.
Okay, cool.
I am writing it. So that's kind of a bit of news to talk about. That it's my passion project. I know Star Wars Theory loves Vader, so it makes sense he does a Vader fan film. And I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, you know, Disney uses Vader so much, they use Maul so much. Why don't people expand on other characters? I get it. But Maul is my favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah.
And I want to tell stories of Maul that, you know, it's a mistake that Disney labels that book as Legends because it is one of the best Star Wars Maul stories there is out there.
I mean, if people do want more like fleshed out characters and stuff, like they are like I watched a fan film last year. I can't remember what it's called, but when I find it, I'll have to find it and check back.
Let's continue on the Starfighter thing, and then we'll go back to more. We'll talk more about Maul when it's time to talk about.
You know.
Project. So I'm gonna talk about how Star Celebration 17.
Man. If you guys want more fan films, just look at. There's so many different Star Wars fans doing different types of fan films, man. So,
I love the one. I watched the one with Plagueis, and I was like, this should have been the Acolyte. Well, that's awesome. All right, so we're getting the Starfighter film. It's set 5 years. After Rise of Skywalker. And it is going into production this fall. Presumably, the date looks like May 28th, 2027. Now, what's interesting is, depending on what month Celebration is in that year, because I heard next year they're taking a year off. When they go to Celebration in 2017, 2027. Bro, you're not understanding. He doesn't get it. He's like, you said it on Twitter. You also said I trained in karate and Krav Maga. Oh, so I told the truth.
You might even use my picture and just use my name.
I told about my martial arts experience.
This
guy's a loser. Keep saying the same shit. See what happens. Doesn't matter. Glad we're building this team together, Joe. Yeah, I agree, man. But so it looks like we got the timeline for it. It sounds like there are rumors. So it's interesting because depending on when Star Celebration is, it's not in London. It's confirmed to be LA. But next time it is in London.
The last one, I think it was 2023. The last one, it was in London.
It would be awesome if you guys could come to LA though, because I would really like.
I would actually travel to Los Angeles.
If you guys save up your money right now and we try and go to Los Angeles, you and I would have such the greatest time like all walking, because I'm planning on bringing a tripod and going with the camera and like walking around because I am a content creator. I want to not just go and experience. I want to film when I'm allowed to film. Like I want to walk around like when I'm meeting people or when hanging out with like because I'm gonna cosplay and stuff. I would love to be there and should definitely. So it's, you see, you don't need to worry about it. It's gonna be in 2027. So yeah, so it's called Starfighter. It's going into production in May. Oh no, it's gonna come out in May, but it's going into production. It's gonna go into production very in the fall. But so it's interesting it comes out in May because what's interesting is I wonder because they've done this at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Do you guys think if the movie comes out in May and say they had Celebration in May?
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are they'd actually have a panel that actually let you watch the movie when you're there in May?
That could be, yeah, that could be.
Because they'd be with a live audience, right? You have all the Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool to watch it at Celebration instead of just it being in a movie theater.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And especially if it's really good as well, it'll be a good experience, you know. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we do this, when we do restream, we can't ever see Jake. His comments never show up for some reason. So if anyone sees him, well, actually, no, I can look on my phone and see it, and I can see Jake.
I can see him. Yeah, I can see.
Let me pull it up real quick. But I'm reading this article real quick. So, what's on what? Oh, yeah, that's true. It'd be cool if they did it though. I think that's just my headcanon of something I would have done personally. So they did that when I went to Comic-Con in 2017. I thought that was fantastic. So Sean Levy says there's many rumors, some true, some not. That is not a prequel. That is not a sequel. It's a new adventure. Gosling praised the installment as such a great story with great and original characters. And I'm gonna be honest, I know people like the sequel here, but I'll say one thing that I'm actually really excited about this project for. In this article, that if this was like someone like Kathleen Kennedy or anyone else saying this, I wouldn't agree, and I'd say they're trying to bait us.
Definitely.
Sean Levy did such a great job with a movie like Deadpool, Wolverine, and some of his other projects. I think he's being really honest here. Like,
so is he saying that it's not a prequel or a sequel?
It's a new adventure.
So it's in its own universe?
Really.
I hope so, because here's why. I think the problem with Star Wars is that they're so
Focus on the Skywalker saga.
Not only that, but like you said with the Darth Maul storyline of like how it's legend, so it's not technically canon. I think they're hindering their creative process of like trying to make the timeline make sense of like, oh, this is canon, this is not canon.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to start.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
The Star Wars multiverse in a sense where like you can make your own.
Well, that's why James Gunn used Star Wars, and he said Star Wars. He said DC, the new DC is more like Star Wars than Marvel. And I actually was going to do a video about that. I actually am glad about that. I think that makes more sense because you're telling multiple timelines, and that would actually make sense why when they're doing the. Oh, that's my sister that's talking, Zarkis. So that would make sense how they're doing. Because it would be cool because that would make sense like when they're doing the Wonder Woman show, they're doing Paradise Lost, right?
Yeah.
We had a different timeline than the other DC stuff. And then when they do things like, Clayface and different stuff. So yeah, so it sounds like Gosling's praising the incident as such a great story with great original characters, as well as so much heart and adventure. And that's the other thing. People can say what they want, but sounds like his sis is why I was wondering. Yeah. So one thing I'll say is I think that one thing that gets me interested in this project is the new character aspect. But I like the fact that Sean, if anyone the director was saying this, I wouldn't agree with. But I trust the movie. I know people be like, "You a simp for liking Deadpool and Wolverine." Oh, boo me! I liked it in entertainment.
So what was wrong with Deadpool and Wolverine? what was wrong with that?
I don't know. It's an entertaining movie.
I think it's a good aspect to have like Sean that type of film in Star Wars because
I'll be honest, like Sean Levy, even in Stranger Things and some of the other projects he's worked on, he's very good at bringing heart and interjecting it into Star Wars in a positive way. Or not Star Wars, but in his projects. Yeah. And I think even with Kathleen meandering, I think we're going to see a lot of. I think Star Wars is going to start to go back to it being about creators. I think creators are going to start getting to do their vision, and hopefully it has the opposite of the effect of what happened with JJ and Ryan. So hopefully we'll get people, just like there's content creators creating their content, we should treat being a director like almost a content creator, right?
Yeah.
Like Christopher Nolan makes his movies, they're all his vision. Don't let these studios interfere with it. Allow your directors to tell their story with their team of writers, their plan and let it happen.
Exactly.
So this article from Deadline doesn't have the full synopsis I found, so I'm trying to see if I can find the other synopsis.
Yeah.
But this one here just kind of gives what they announced at Celebration. And so the Outliers, we got Gosling in it. He's the lead.
That's cool. I think Ryan Gosling's a good choice.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
Because a lot of people like him, so a lot of people go and see a film with Gosling. So
I'm honestly surprised that it is that it's not yes, Star Wars needs a new creative minds and heartfelt stories again. Agreed.
yeah, true.
So getting praised, he said the installment has such great characters, and he adds, this is not a more perfect. There is not a more perfect filmmaker for this particular story than Sean. And this, hey Spider-Man, this is what Gosling said. There's not a more perfect story, a perfect filmmaker than what Gosling is doing. Let's see, what does it say? So Sean cast includes Ryan Gosling. Do we have an update for it? Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's another article with more information on it. Otherwise, we'll move to the next topic. Then I kind of want to get final thoughts on what you think about this first announcement we're talking about.
Yeah, so Starfire, I'm looking somewhat forward to it because it's just
I'm optimistic. I think Gosling and Levy would. Oh, hey, anything Star Wars and Marvel. Hey, anything Star Wars and Marvel. Do you want a link to join us up here? Because you usually have such good opinions on this stuff.
Yeah, I think for Starfire, I think the fact that it's going to be like a space adventure kind of thing, I'm thinking, well, you know what, we kind of need that because we haven't seen. Obviously, I'm not saying we haven't seen good space sequences, but I feel like we need to see more in live action because, as much as we love this Jedi, the Sith, the Force, and everything, I do like seeing a good spaceships battle, the battle of Yavin or the battle of whatever. You know what I'm saying? We need to see longer sequences like that. You know what I mean? So hopefully, if that's the direction they're going in, then I'm on board with it. Really, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it comes out.
I agree with that take, Retro. I'll have to make a video about that. Okay, so here we go. Here's what the Wikipedia Wookiee version says about this.
Yeah.
Levy's movie, I want a story that reflects. The film is set 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. We said that already. Kathleen. Early development. I wanted to craft something that has themes carried with visuals and wish fulfillment. So that's good. So then it talks about his previous work he's done on other projects. But yeah, so I think as per the Deadline news, all we really know is it's in production. They have a director.
Yeah.
They have writers.
Yeah.
They have an idea. Sean seems proud of it. Ryan seems excited about it.
Mm.
Happy Easter, BTW. If I'm able to join the stream, I'll be sure to let you know. Let me know. Hayden and Rosaria, what up, Chosen? Hayden and Rosaria appeared in the event. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yes.
Yeah, I saw.
Not surprised because we have topics for Ahsoka to talk about as well.
Yeah, definitely.
We will get to the Ahsoka stuff. I promise. We're covering everything right now. So where did I go with my link here? Find my article I lost. Yeah, so I would say casually optimistic. I really love Sean Levy, so I want it to be good because I think he has potential to tell good stories.
Yeah.
And I think he could do it. All right, so let's see. Star Celebration return to Los Angeles. So that's crazy. For the 50th anniversary. That's going to be emotional for A New Hope, man. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a Star Wars. Oh, okay, here we go. So then we also have let's stop searching. Let's go to the main timeline page of things I had. So I had a timeline image from Mark. What did someone say? We need Disney's ties to be severed. Sorry. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree, man. I think Disney's ties would be nice.
Yeah, I think if you give it to a different company, we'll get some quality, Paramount. That's only one.
Paramount knows what they're doing. I feel that they.
I think because they put out some good shows, and they let the creators just get on with it and whatever.
All right, so we got. So let's talk about this now. So I don't know what news was announced there, but so Andor is coming out this week. Left a like on. Well, thank you, man. So we had Andor We have Andor coming out, and so my tone on Andor after I talked to my dad has
Yeah.
kind of changed.
Yeah.
I think Andor season 2. Which one of these is mine? I can use yours.
That one's yours.
The one in front?
Mine's
Okay.
empty.
Okay. I really think that they have a strong foundation,
Yeah.
and I really think that Andor, even though I wasn't a huge fan, I thought season 1 was slow. I think there's potential to make Andor season 2 really good.
Yeah.
I'm hearing some talks that they might start to, as much as people don't like Star Wars relying on this.
Yeah.
I heard there's going to be a scene with a meaningful Star Wars, as like a Star Wars like legacy character.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see which character it's going to be because Tony Gilroy has been very anti-Jedi and Sith in his show.
Yeah.
It will either be a Rebel character or it's going to be a new Empire character.
Yeah. I was thinking Grand Moff Tarkin or
I'm hoping that Tarkin is, even though I loved Rogue One.
Yeah.
Hope to God they just recast another actor that they think could look like Tarkin because
that's dope. Yeah.
I love Rogue One, but that deep fake technology was
it wasn't the best back then,
good.
especially for what it was, even with Leia. But yeah, like it's either Grand Moff Tarkin. I heard it could be Admiral Abbott as well, so it could be like it's a trap. Like something. That'll be funny. I can't lie if they do that. So
anything Star Wars and Marvel, yeah, that's pretty cool that you're working on your second episode of your series, man. They don't need to do just random shit in the Old Republic stuff. Don't forget, guys, Joe, me, and Chris will be hosting on May the 4th Discord event so you can watch Star Wars. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
Good. So I like that. I think that's interesting. So yeah, I think Starfighter, I'm interested in it, and it's promising. It's got one. I can't wait till we see a trailer. With Andor, it's interesting. We're jumping from a Marvel show to a Star Wars show, and this isn't where we've done it. I really hope that Andor serves a good. What I just really need to get in my head is Star Wars Theory said this the other day, and he said that I love Star Wars Theory, but sometimes he says things that I wish he would be more. He's knowledgeable, but he needs to have a better grasp of, like, he says, like, what he sees in Star Wars, what he considers Star Wars, and then he kind of bashes what other people can still consider as Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean to do it, but I feel he needs to be more, like in Star Wars, we talk about, like Obi-Wan would say, be more mindful, or even Qui-Gon would, of your thoughts. They betray you.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think one thing I noticed with the Andor is there's been people that praise it because it doesn't feel like Star Wars. Yeah. And then there's been people, oh, you got a potential meeting with some old Lucas contacts at Lucas? That's pretty interesting. And that's on May the 4th you have that happening? So then basically, I think like with this, I really hope it's good. The trailer gives it a much more action-packed vibe. And while I didn't love the season overall, I'm just ignoring this loser. It's not relevant, dumbass. I'm single. Even if I was, it doesn't matter. He keeps trying to say, so it's confirmed that you're talking to girls on Threads. It's not. He doesn't.
But there's anyway. But I think with
Talk to other people on Threads. It's just like Twitter, but
basically. Thank you.
Here's the thing: if you were to talk to other people on like Threads of all apps, it's like the most inconvenient way ever.
Yeah, you just have to go to Instagram. They make you go to Instagram. Yeah. So that's what you don't understand, Silver. I don't talk to people. Someone asked a question, I answered a question on the post. They were saying they were looking for ways to learn how to do martial arts and what martial arts do each people take and who can potentially train people. And I said what martial arts I am known for.
Yeah.
That's all I did. Like, bro, you have no facts. But so back to what's at stake. So Andor, I really think I'm really looking forward to Andor. Because it looks like they're taking the things I liked about season 1 and applying it more to season 2.
Yeah, I think we're seeing much more like action, basically.
One thing I think the season 2 is going to have a lot more potential for season 1 is I do think that them bringing in K2SO, Saw Gerrera, and even Krennic. I know people are like, "Oh, why are we still using familiar Star Wars characters?" But these are familiar Star Wars characters to me that I think are underdeveloped.
Yeah.
In a movie that's their end. That's when they die, right? So I think getting to see their stories would be nice.
Yeah, I would love to see like a Krennic rise to power kind of thing. Like, how did
I
he
know that a
become
lot of people aren't going to be a fan of this and they're not going to love it, but I really hope that Andor's last season, because this is said to be the last season.
Yeah.
I hope that the Rebels make such a big, like, uproar and big enough threat. I know that they're not, like I said, Tony Gilroy is not as big as on cameos, and he's not huge. But I think if you got to make one cameo appear at the end of the show because of what this show has been leading, I want to see Palpatine's reaction to whatever's happening in Andor, setting up Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
So we know Rogue One was all about getting the Death Star plans. So what about So what about the fact? So what about the fact that if you had it ends and something that they do, like maybe I know Andor was supposed to be with Stellan Skarsgård and they're supposed to be taking down Imperial bases, right?
Yeah.
What if they make a big enough crippling blow in the Empire, and we just get Palpatine at the end, just reacting and maybe kind of laughing sinisterly, just kind of being like, "Oh, you think this changes things, don't you, in your rebels?" But action to that his plan's being fucked with, I think would be great.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool, yeah, for sure.
Doesn't need to be anything crazy. Doesn't need to be in the whole episode. Just a little tease, just a little cherry on the cake. No offense to anyone here, but Joe, Sam Witwer, Theory, and Dave are the only other people I can talk Star Wars with, as they don't know Star Wars, but they can creatively talk as my equal. Yeah, that's fair. You're okay to have your opinion, my friend. You talk to who you want to talk to. But yeah, so I think I'm looking forward to Andor, and I will be doing watch parties. I was torn because there was that big article about them saying that they're gonna bring a certain word I won't say on stream.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah. I think if they brought that in, that would have really turned things for the worst.
I really think it's gonna happen because I don't think people hate Disney as a brand.
I don't think Tony Gilroy is the type of director to put that in his like show or thing like that. So I just don't.
I think what they're gonna do, if they do something like that, I think the concept of it will be handled in a way where it's like, I get they're trying to make a mature Star Wars show, and I'm fine with that. But I think with the way you can angle it, we can make it kind of seem like if said event happens, maybe we don't see it. Maybe it's like something that happens and it really sets the tone for the matureness of the story.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. Like if it's just like, oh, this really bad thing happened to her sister, and then now Andor's gonna go John Wick, I'm for it.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing I really liked about the first episode of Andor, and I thought I was gonna love the rest of the series. But I just wanted Andor running around and going berserk on the Empire. Because in Rogue One, even though I didn't want an Andor show, in Rogue One, one of the things I loved about Andor as a character was when he showed up in Rogue One, there's this shady guy that is within the rebellion and is being told by everyone to ignore the orders that are being given by all the other people to go do these shady, like, insane killings. Like just to shut people up and to silence them, like a true spy within the rebellion that has a mission on top of a mission. And I loved, and they kind of exploited the kind of that John Wick aspect in season 1, episode 1, where you kind of saw like people messing with him. It was kind of just shady. Yeah, I didn't love either, Zarkis. I enjoyed aspects of the first episode, but I had problems with the overall.
Yeah, I didn't mind season 1. I think season 1 for me, the first 2 episodes felt really slow.
I liked the first episode because they were kind of starting off with some action.
Yeah.
I really didn't care for a lot of the other episodes except for the prison arc because of what they did with Andy Serkis' character.
Yeah.
One way out. One way out.
I think that once it got there, I was hooked to it. I think once it got to episode 4, I was like, okay, I'm interested now to see how this ends. And yes, I do think like
I found that one was interesting. I'm gonna rewatch season 1 and see if I can give a revised take on it before the new episodes come out. Like, I think I might rewatch it. Maybe even so it comes out tomorrow's Monday. Maybe tomorrow night before the new episodes come out, so it's fresh in my head.
Yeah.
So I feel personally that I would definitely, Yeah, I'm gonna give Andor a shot because we're getting new Star Wars content. I'm gonna talk about everything, but I feel like I'm doing myself wrong, especially with people like Knights of Melvin. If I was originally Yoda Joe 93, now I'm Jedi Joey, and I'm gonna talk about DC, Marvel, all the things I love or hate it. I need to continue to watch Star Wars to return to the purpose of why I became a content creator.
Yeah.
Which was originally before I was talking about all the other shows that I love. I got on here to talk about Star Wars. And whether Star Wars is good or bad, I need to be making content about it.
Yeah.
Whether doing video game streams, because I'm a Jedi. I'm Jedi Joey. It's just what I am. So and we need to accept that purpose. I mean, you see my poster back there? I got this is the way, and my picture with Sam.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There's gonna always be in Hollywood. There's always gonna be bad projects.
Yeah.
Bad movies, but there's gonna be some good things that come out too.
Yeah, true. Like I've always highlighted, like when it comes to
it's so bad, but there's been some enjoyable stuff.
There has been, there has been. I think I've always, when it comes to this Disney era of Star Wars, I will say the animated and even like the novelization of certain things have been really.
What did he say? Richard had said, "How would you feel if Star Wars novels can be turned into movies and TV? I think Lost Stars would be great as a live action film. I think that should have been what they did with it from the first place.
Yeah, that's what they should have done.
They should have, because that's why I don't like Kathleen Kennedy, because she said, until she was called out on it, she said, we have no games, we have no movies, not movies, we have no games, we have no TV shows, books, and I'm like, that's your lore, though. That's your material. You take this thing, it's like Obadiah Stane from Iron Man 1 said to his minion when he's trying to make the Iron Monger suit. The technology doesn't exist. Here's the technology. Use it. Tony Stark.
Yeah, no, literally, it's there for a reason. I think it's kind of like undermining, a lot of people's hard work, especially in the Legends era, because we know there's a lot of novels and games and stuff.
I think when I re-ranked Star Wars shows for live action, people were surprised, even though I have such negative opinions on Sabine and what they do with Thrawn. Ahsoka as a Star Wars show is still ranked fairly high for me, because I think that there's a lot of things that they got right still, and you can feel that when Dave Filoni was allowed to do the creative things that he should be able to do, he makes some outstanding decisions. Like I kind of like the whole homeless Ezra. I kind of vibed with the. I do think that I wish we would have seen more about Filoni as a visionary. I thought he would have done a little bit more about how Thrawn and Ezra. It kind of bothered me that Thrawn and Ezra weren't together when they got Meridia, because it felt like we just skipped over that chapter. They're being trapped together. Like I thought that. What? Really? Now you're pretending? Now you're using an LA account saying, "Can we go Easter egg hunting today?" Sorry, I'm not a burst your bubble. I don't go Easter egg hunting. I'm an adult, so it's awesome for other people that do, but I don't do that. Joe, I'm curious when you're gonna do the watch parties on series premiere of my Star Wars Secret Survivors Order 66. I'll have to do it soon, man. I don't have a timeline for it yet. I've been very busy in between work, martial arts, and doing my own stuff. Like Miles Morales said, I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna do my own thing. That's all I'm doing right now, guys. I'm just doing my own thing. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, children. We've known about it for a while, and we're gonna get into that tea in a minute, because we're gonna go full crazy on Ahsoka season 2. But I wanted to get the other topics out of the way because there's not as much to say. Where I think Ahsoka season 2, I'm gonna go off because I have information that the people at Celebration didn't tell you guys. There's more. So, like Dr. Strange said to Wong, what? You wanted more? Yeah. Oh, I would love to see Dash Radar. I think that'd be cool.
Dash would be sick, man. I want them to remake the Shadows of the Empire game. I really want them to do that.
Oh yeah, and also Star Wars. While I am playing Final Fantasy and Marvel Rivals and all these other things, I'm going to announce on my channel that as a community post today, certain days, probably Sunday nights, maybe Mondays and Tuesdays as well. I'm going to start, in honor of Andor, I'm going to start to do regular Star Wars streaming games again. So one thing I want to do I really want to stream. I want to play. Unfortunately, I really wish they would have made it online co-op, but I want to play through Jedi Power Battles because I haven't played that in a while, and I did buy it.
Good. Yeah.
I'd like to replay that. I think that'd be fun, especially because you can play it all in there. So that kind of be a pretty cool like precursor to getting more hyped in mall mode. Want to bring back the Battlefront 2 streams because it's just fun playing that game online.
Is that the remastered version?
Yeah, the one.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
I still need to get that.
That one's had the issues because they had Ventress and stuff, but also I want to do like the newer one again.
Yeah.
Where you can go crazy.
Right.
I know that one we can play online.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind doing that because I think that'd be fun. I still need to beat the Jedi Outcast games. I need to get Academy. I had Academy on the Switch, but Ella had the Switch with her, so I need to get Academy on PlayStation because I really want to play through Academy where you can make your own character.
I haven't played that in a minute, man.
I've been playing Outcast, and I really wonder. I know people talk about this all the time. I really want to see live action Kyle Katarn. I don't know what actor could play, but I think that's a character that Star Wars absolutely should do.
Yeah.
And honestly, if they can't do Kyle Katarn, I have a video coming out that I think that they should do instead. If you're gonna how they did the Kyle Ren thing, if they would have done it properly, where they do a character and did it properly, I'll say this. I think they could turn Cal Kestis if they make him live long enough.
Yeah.
I think they could use him as the Disney canon Kyle Katarn. Where he's kind of got a darker side to him.
Yeah.
But he's a Jedi, right? Mm-hmm. And he's rough around the edges. If they never bring in Kyle Katarn, it'd be cool to use him in that way.
Okay, yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
That'd be awesome. Like, I just want to see more Cal Kestis. Like,
yeah, definitely.
If you want to get people hyped at Star Celebration, that would have definitely been a Star Celebration announcement. Is just announced I think the reason they're not announcing anything with Cal Kestis though is because they want to finish Jedi 3 first.
Yeah, I think it will probably come out next year because actually no, when did either next year or the year after, I think.
Well, that's the only thing I'm going to do. Even though I didn't love the story that much in Jedi 2, I'll say this much. For the highlights of it, I'm going to be restreaming that game because I never got to finish the side quests. And I wanted to do mission, so I'm going to go back to that game as well.
I need to. I might do another Let's Play on it again, and in my downtime when I get a chance.
Coming out, I beat the first game on what was it called, Grandmaster Jedi mode, which was hard, but it's so worth it. I might challenge myself again, Dark Souls level, and go with Jedi Survivor playthrough of the whole game, including the side quests, on the hard difficulty. Just because even on the regular difficulty, I felt like some of it was too easy. Yeah. So I think it's okay if I rage a little bit, if it tests me a little bit, kind of just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really want to do. Like, I love community and I love streaming with people, but I really want to get back to being a solo streamer again. Like, I really want to get back to, like, playing through story games again.
Yeah.
Multiplayer is fun. Like, it's so weird because with all the friends stuff, like when you're playing with everybody, you have a million different voices in your head and you're trying to play the game and play.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's why I hear it. I understand because, like,
yourself.
I feel like
relationship. I just want the community come watch me play games, beat Spider-Man finally. I need to do that still.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, I really like your idea of your Star Wars project, anything Star Wars and Marvel. So we talked about Andor. We talked a little bit just about the games and different stuff. Speaking of games, even though I haven't seen the trailer yet, we should go over a little bit more of our impressions on this. What did they call this turn-based game? Galaxy something?
Zero Company.
Zero Company is called. Okay. So let's kind of talk about. So what kind of characters do you want to see in this project?
Oh, for Zero Company. I just want to see, like, I don't really mind as long as we see like the Jedi from the Clone War era. Really, I don't mind seeing. I just want to see like
in this game. I'd lose my shit.
Yeah, I just want to see like different Jedi, different clone troopers, different battalions, different obviously bounty hunters we can use. Obviously, who else? I guess obviously we can use droids to an extent as well. So like, yeah, it just.
They had some new characters that exist during the Clone Wars. You want to know what I want, and I don't know if they'll do this. I'm just gonna block Silver. You don't get to know that. Sorry, that's not your business. I'm not talking about it on stream. So even if we were friends, you'd at least have the courtesy to talk to me text wise or whatever. But what I was gonna say was, so we're talking about this game. I would love it if one character I'd love to see, especially because I think they should still, even though they're announcing they got a new actor for it.
Yeah.
I really want more than anything, especially after Ahsoka season 1. I have fallen in love with this. My 2 favorite Disney Star Wars characters right now in the Disney era are Cal Kestis from the Jedi games.
Yeah.
My second favorite is Baylan Skoll.
Yeah, that's understandable.
For me, what I would love to have, hey, what's up, Brandon? So what I would love to do is I would love to get, like, even in this game, if they open the door to it, then maybe we get stories. I want comics and books or an animated show of Baylan Skoll during the Clone Wars. Because the way that he acted in season 1 when Thrawn called him General, if you read the books, it makes me think that he was old enough to be a Jedi, maybe not a master, but he was definitely working with clones and was a lead in some capacity.
Yeah. It seems like he might have been like a...
And I have a feeling that his knight, that one of my sickest theories, and I wonder if this is true, do you guys think he was a temple guard because of his stature?
That's true. That could be. Oh, he could be. Yeah, he could have been a sentinel. Yeah, I see it.
You want to know what my biggest theories was too about who?
Because didn't they say that about the Grand Inquisitor? He was a sentinel.
Yeah.
So that was the theory, and that turned out to be true.
Character Nick gets reintroduced in Disney canon timeline. I could see the canon counterpart of Nick joining the rebellion because of his hate for Palpatine. Oh, that's a really cool idea. I saw your message now. Welcome, Brandon. Yeah, we're talking Star Wars right now, Brandon. So yeah, I loved. I think that would be cool. More Baylan. But when I brought that up with the idea of the Temple Guard thing, was if a younger version of Baylan was in this game, I'd lose my absolute shit.
Yeah.
Like, because I theorized during the Ahsoka show. I don't know if you ever saw my video because we weren't friends yet. But what I'll tell you is, I did a video during the Ahsoka show that I thought we were going to get flashbacks where we revealed that Plo Koon was Baylan's master.
Ooh.
Because before Disney messed with the timeline, Plo Koon had an orange lightsaber, including in the game in Jedi Power Battles, he's introduced with orange, not blue.
Yeah.
And, since they did the Dark Jedi and they had the orange crystals, I thought that would have been cool. But you know what's interesting? When Baylan's a Jedi, I actually think we're going to find out if we do get Baylan flashbacks or anything in the future. I think Baylan had a green lightsaber when he was a Jedi.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure that sounds like the boring answer, but I just think it suits his type of character.
It suits because obviously green is like more with the Force in it. So
yeah, and he's very. And one of the things I really hope, like whatever they do with this Baylan stuff, they lead into, I really hope that with the past stuff of him, I do hope they touch on him and Anakin's connection, because he spoke about Anakin like he knew not just the rumors what the Jedi was saying, but that he knew who Anakin Skywalker was.
Yeah. It's interesting.
You didn't really see that. Okay, so Brandon said, did you see Star Wars Celebration revealed that the next one is in 2017? Or not 2017, in 2027. It's going to be held back. It's going to be held back in the U.S. at the Los Angeles Convention Center. Well, yeah, I'm planning on going, Brandon.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking forward to going.
So
hopefully.
I'm excited. Hopefully me and Chris can meet for the first time then.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see him dressed as a Mandalorian and be like, hey.
Hopefully.
At Star Wars Celebration, they've announced Admiral Akbar is coming back for Ahsoka Season 2. Sick! Really, I didn't see that announcement.
Oh, they've actually confirmed that. Okay, cool. I saw something on Twitter yesterday, but I didn't think it was legit. So that's why I thought maybe, I don't know.
Confirmed. Season 2. It's a trap.
Yeah, for real. They have to know. I feel like they're gonna do something like that as well, like an episode title. That would be funny.
Watch one of the episode titles be called.
It would actually be funny if they did that.
In my head canon, Plo Koon has 2 lightsabers in Disney's Star Wars canon timeline. The orange lightsaber, and the second is his blue. That's interesting because in Disney canon, he has blue because of Clone Wars. He doesn't have purple. Disney didn't use him with orange. Before Disney, he had orange. But to be fair, if you knew the original canon, you would know that Plo Koon doesn't use his lightsaber until we see him in Clone Wars, really.
Yeah.
Except for in video game stuff. They gotta expand more on the Plo Koon character too, because in Legends, Plo Koon had Jedi powers that nobody had ever seen before.
Yeah, for real. He had like the lightning and stuff. Yeah, man. So
I know Dave Filoni loves that character. I'm surprised they haven't done more with that character.
Yeah.
Like honestly, when they were trying to hide Luke Skywalker being in Mando season 2, did you hear they were gonna use Plo Koon instead originally? And honestly, I would, as much as I love the Luke Skywalker thing, I know a lot of people don't like when these characters, when Dave Filoni just pulls these characters being dead and just doesn't make them dead. But there's certain characters where I think that rule is acceptable. And one of them is obviously in Bad Batch, he retconned Dark Disciple by bringing Ventress back.
Yeah.
Which I love Ventress so much. We need more characters like her.
Yeah,
so
we definitely need Ventress. Yeah.
I love Cad Bane, but I'm more excited for Ventress.
Yeah. I think because even with the Clone Wars, I remember the cartoon version. When they first introduced her, I thought, "Yo, this is a sick character." But obviously, she died in Volume 1, innit? But then when I saw her in the CGI clone, I was like, "Okay, I'm glad they kind of brought her back because we need to see kind of
even
more."
though she was more of a minor antagonist in that, she was so great. And then when they brought her back into Clone Wars, they fleshed her out so much.
Yeah,
like she's easily become my favorite female Star Wars character. Like I can say that meaningfully because I just feel like.
I would love to see a story on Quinlan Voss.
I think they need to do more Voss stuff because they did introduce it in Obi-Wan.
They had that. Yeah, that was it.
I have a feeling, even though that trailer showed certain things, I don't think we've seen everything.
Yeah,
I could see Voss being in Tales. I could see him appearing.
Yeah, I can see it.
Well, maybe there's more with him and Ventress's relationship now.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think that would be really cool. I'm really looking for. Yeah, I need to see more of Voss. I think Voss is a cool character to do something like that with. I wonder who would play Voss in live action.
Live action, ooh, it depends, isn't it?
The idea of Voss is so interesting because he's like a fun-loving Jedi, jumps around, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They had a guy that was a stand-in for him, like Voss was in Phantom Menace as a background character.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they use that thing. I'm starting episode 1 at 9 a.m. your time, May the 4th. Yes, sir. I love that we're starting with the prequels the way it was meant to be started.
For real.
Great. And it's going to be a great crescendo when we get to the OG trilogy as the OT actually feeling like the true sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Like it's because to me, in my opinion, I know the original trilogy came out first, but Star Wars in timeline order is they may be called the original trilogy, but it's the prequels because they're the prequels. That's a good video idea, Brandon. A Plo Koon spin-off show. See, that's what Star Wars should be do. Don't worry about the present timeline. Do stories of characters that we just to me. I still think, even though he's been dead for a long time.
Yeah,
I was mad at I think it was D23. Someone was saying rumors, and it ended up being a joke and a prank. But there was rumors that we're going to get a Grievous show, and I have wanted that for so long because I want it to be pre-Grievous before Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Ruled his homeworld. And you see that. We've been getting Star Wars news all weekend, Minecraft fan. I think all the news Celebration, if I remember correctly, I think all the news for Celebration is done. Unless you guys have heard otherwise.
Yeah, it's only there was only this news for Friday and Saturday. Sunday there weren't much.
Yeah, I'm down for it, Retro. Do you think? Okay, let's see. We got some new stuff here. I'm gonna answer all this stuff. Disney should do season 2 of Tales of the Jedi, but the two characters, Quinlan Voss and Qui-Gon Jinn, before the events of Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I think that would be sick. That would be dope.
Jedi season 2. They should include Balon's arc in there as well.
Yeah, as well. Yeah,
that should be in there.
I think because you see with Qui-Gon, I want to see more with Qui-Gon. I want to see more of him in his prime, and how he was as a Jedi, why he had a. Because I want to know because I mean, obviously we know why he just had a disliking for the council, but I want to know what was the specific reason, what made him feel what turned him away. Was it something he saw? Was it something he read or something? It couldn't be anything. And then obviously Quinlan Voss is there was kind of a little in Legends. There was a little story that I think it was Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then Quinlan Voss and his master. I can't remember. I think his master was a Wookiee. I think at the time I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I love.
So That'd be cool to
I
see.
love the idea, and I'm going to answer this question from Brandon real quick. I love the idea of those characters being more explored, and I think with Balin, one of the word I used to him is like, we never got to see until Tales of the Jedi what Count Dooku's Jedi life was like.
Yeah.
I remember reading, I don't even know this, but when it was just the movies, I didn't really care much for Count Dooku as a character. But after I read Dooku Lost Jedi, one book was able to turn Count Dooku into one of my favorite Star Wars.
That was a good book, yeah.
It was just crazy, and so so I remember when we finally got Tales, I already read the book. I
think it'll be kind of interesting to see like how because I remember there was a comic about how Count Dooku got Master Sifo DS's body and how he used that for the clones and things like that.
I mean, they kind of teased it in Clone Wars.
Yeah,
much of it in the final season. So let's see. So Brandon says, do you think Filoni's characters, Thrawn, Ghost Crew, Mando, Ahsoka, Omega, and new version of Talon in Maul show will meet in Heir to the Empire movie? So let's bring up that question, right? We're going to talk about the Maul show in a minute, but I'll just allude to this. If this is truly Talon, we're going to have our new sickest female character, if adapted right, that could be with us for the next several years.
Yeah.
Because even if Maul dies, Talon becomes quite the thing in the books.
Yeah, she does.
And it would make sense for Thrawn to find some way to Shanghai Talon into his enterprise.
Yeah.
So I would like that. I think that's exactly what we need is a new great female villain. And
yeah, definitely. Like she's definitely
Ventress has become more of a bounty hunter now than a villain.
Yeah.
So I think we need a new straight up Sith villain. And I think Talon's great. Like, in fact, other than what we just watched, we haven't really talked that much about Star Wars Theories movie other than we just watched it. But even though I'm super excited by that, I will say, and I'm biased as hell, so this is fine, that Maul animated project is easily my favorite new Star Wars anticipated project because
definitely. I think they have so much ideas that they can put out.
Like I think after I do my video about the Star Wars Celebration announcements, I'm gonna rank it and say from most excited to least excited in the videos because I know people like that kind of content. And I might make something like that because I really feel strongly about
what did Richard say?
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Talon in Jedi 3. That'd be sick. I'm hoping for Darth Maul to make his appearance in Jedi 3. I think that would be sick because we're at the point when you look at the story of like Jedi Fallen Order to Survivor.
Yeah.
It's only really been 5 years, so Maul is really like doing his own thing.
I just realized the sickest thing, even though we ran from Vader, I just realized the sickest thing, especially as we've tapped into Dark Side Cal a little bit.
Yeah.
Bro, if we're not going to get a Darth Maul video game for a long time, because I know they've been trying to work on one, but it's never happened.
Yeah.
It would be sick as hell if instead of fighting stormtroopers like we do in Aimless every single Star Wars game, we get to fucking continue to fight on Dathomir, and then the central villains of the story are Maul and Talon, and that's how they tie the canon connection.
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
That'd be dope.
I would love to see Maul and Talon.
Yeah, I'd love to see more.
When Jedi 2 was coming out, there was rumors that Maul was supposed to be featured, and then they never did it. They went with the stupid High Republic stuff instead.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on Jedi 2 because it's bad. Yeah. I love Jedi 2 gameplay wise. I just thought the stupid thing with Dagon, I thought the main villain was lame. I would have rather had Bode be the villain throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I felt like with Dagon, like he was like from how they portrayed him, he was really good at the start. Like he had a really good start. Definitely really good start. And then when it came to like the final battle with him, I was thinking like, okay, but I thought he was going to be continuous kind of thing. And then when he died, and then when we got Bode, I thought, wow, Bode really okay. But I thought either way, it was still like good. I still like enjoyed the story for what it was. I think that just if Bode was supposed to turn how he was, they should have just kept it as Bode really, like helping him along the way. And the next thing you know, boom, snap it turns. It was still a good like obviously kind of like turn to when obviously Bode turned and stuff. I was like, oh, okay.
Cool. We got a new question from Brandon. Dave Filoni said at Celebration he really enjoyed the casting of Baylan Skoll, but he really enjoyed creating Baylan Skoll, but he was also emotional when he recasted Ray Stevenson, who had an incredible performance with Rory McCann. So interesting that Dave said this. I agree. I think I'm going to say something kind of wild because I think Dave has messed with a lot of his characters. I think of characters that Dave Filoni owns 100% to his creativity. If we're giving him the credit for it, I think Bill and Skull is probably my favorite Dave Filoni created character because everyone else that he's created, he's either took a seat back and let them ruin his character or not made the right choices with them. Like, I love Ahsoka, but they're constantly changing how Ahsoka is. And like her being too edgy in season 1, that's why Ahsoka season 1 wasn't as good, is because our main character we're supposed to focus on wasn't the amazing character we fell in love with.
Yeah.
And I don't bring Rosario. I think Rosario is an incredible actress.
Yeah, for sure.
I really hope that they bring Ahsoka back to her roots in season 2.
I definitely think that.
When we talk about Ahsoka season 2, well, actually, since everyone's talking about Balin right now, I guess we can just shift over to Ahsoka season 2 being our main, because we have a lot to talk about with it. So we're going to continue to answer this question. And then we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my glasses real quick so I got to read this.
Yeah.
I think for me, more of Balin, the better. And I was one of the first people, I don't know if I told you guys this, but being Rex is my other one. I forgot about Rex. They haven't ruined Rex yet either.
Yeah, no, Rex has been solid. Rex has been very solid.
With a certain lifespan, but there's some way to make Rex's life be expanded and him being in because when we talk about I'm doing a whole video on everything I know about Ahsoka season 2 coming out later tonight. I'm gonna spell more tea than what these articles that Disney says.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna also say some of it here. And when it comes to Rex, I have been told Rex is in season 2, and from what I heard, it's not just a series of flashbacks over a couple episodes. It's said to be a full-out character.
Okay. That's cool.
I just don't know if that means it's just me, because they're going to do a lot, apparently, in season 2.
Yeah.
That season 2 is going to be heavy flashbacks, but tied with the main story more than just cameo ones. And these flashbacks are going to serve a purpose, because season 2 is going to go deep into the Boris gods, and it's also going to go deep into... They revealed at Star Wars Celebration on his birthday, literally the day after, that Hayden Christensen is not only officially confirmed, as leakers said, to be in season 2. His role is bigger in season 2 than it was in season 1.
Yeah.
And what I think they're going to do, and I'm going to allude to this in my video, is I think certain characters in Ahsoka are now going to take the place of the Mortis gods.
Yeah, for sure.
I just hope that Dave Filoni hired really good writers to flesh out them, because people that didn't watch Clone Wars are going to be so confused by
I think with how season 1 ended, if you haven't seen Clone Wars, you're not going to understand like what the mother, the son kind of means. I think
instead of just watching all of Clone Wars, I think I'm going to specifically rewatch the Mortis arc. Because,
the Mortis arc. I feel like that was the best season 3 for me.
Yeah, I love
the best season.
I think I know when I'm getting ready for this mall show, I'm going to rewatch Phantom Menace, go read the comics and the books again, and then also rewatch his Clone Wars arc and his Rebels arc.
Yeah.
So because when we talk about the mall show, we know that's set after the Clone Wars season 7 finale. So basically, like with this, like I think that's really cool, because I think that would be the Mortis arc, and I think what they would do. This is what I think the plan is going to be, and I think this is going to be interesting, because I'm not only going to talk about the 4 gods that we know are standing there.
Yeah.
We also are talking, or I guess the 3. We also know about, as we've talked about, the mother would factor into this, right? So I have some pretty interesting information on Abeloth being the main threat in season 2.
Yeah.
Because I've been digging around for a while, because I heard a lot about Balin, but no one said anything about Shin's position. And I think I recently found out what Shin's going to be doing.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to drop that in the video. So here what we'll talk about is, so they're going to go to the Mortis Gods arc. Balin is going to be looking for the role of the father, but I think we're going to find out in season 2 that it's been taken.
Yeah.
And that thing that has been taken is Anakin has been inhabiting it since the end of Return of the Jedi. And I think that's going to be why we get so much Anakin.
Yeah, for sure.
Anakin different than the Force Ghost, since he's literally described as a Mortis god. I think Anakin's able to sometimes manifest his form.
Yeah.
So one of my biggest headcanons is in season in season 1 when Ahsoka fought Anakin, and since she was technically quote unquote dead from that scene,
Yeah.
and then brought back. I believe that it wasn't some dream illusion, or it wasn't some like she was literally dead.
Yeah.
And was literally in the world between worlds, and Anakin was actually there, like actually manifested to her.
Yeah.
And he did that through being. I'm focused on the podcast. It's nothing important. It's just noties.
Oh, I thought Mom.
No, she didn't. I don't think. Yeah, so that would be cool to see Starkiller retro. But yeah, so let's get to Brandon's questions. We've been kind of dogging around it a bit. It looks like Mom did text.
Mm-hmm.
Should we bring pizza for dinner when we get Kenna, or are you busy? I'm podcasting, but you can bring food. Because I'll always eat it either during or after.
Yeah.
I don't mind having a snack in between. So Dave Filoni is set at Celebration. He really enjoyed creating Baylan Skull. But he was also emotional when recasted Ray Stevenson, who had an incredible performance with Rory McCann. So here's what I'll say on this. Yes, of course, as we already talked, W for creating an amazing character like Baylan. I can understand the emotion because I was a fan of Ray Stevenson before it was cool to be a fan of Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
Like I've seen every single character he's ever played.
Yeah.
I enjoyed him in the Thor movies as one of the Warriors 3.
Yeah.
I really liked him in G.I. Joe Retaliation as Firefly, where he played an Australian, making things go boom before 9 a.m. It was fun to watch him be camped.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun. Him throwing down the rock, that was hilarious. Anything beyond? And Brandon, are we watching? Hold on, we got a lot of things, and then we're gonna get more stuff to talk about. So I really liked. I really liked. I really liked that. That whole thing. I think that's great. And in terms of the recast, I was one of the first YouTubers to get word on the official news who was going to be Baylan.
Yeah.
And I made a video about it if you ever saw it, but I literally was one of the first people to break the news. And when that news came out, I was so hyped because I was very particular. Like, I knew it was going to get recast. I saw a lot of rumors, they're just going to do it animated, they're going to do this and whatever, right? But I knew that Dave wanted to tell this story in live action.
Yeah.
I knew as much as we respect, this is what people need to understand with Chadwick Boseman's situation. We can respect the past, but also move forward.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
And so to me, this is on topic for a different day. This is exactly why I'm not anti recast T'Challa's character. Because I think his character has so much to do with still in Marvel. And I don't think you can do that with a replacement that's not the character.
Yeah, for sure.
And say the character. But
who did they cast again for the new Baylan? What's his name from
Rory McCann.
From Game of Thrones, yeah.
The guy that played the Hound
in Game of Thrones, yeah, he was sick.
Experience, and they also did their homework because they picked someone who, even though I think Ray knew how to use a sword quite well, they picked someone that's used to swinging a giant.
Yeah, he's used to it too. Yeah, makes sense.
Quite a bit more of his combat than expected in season 2, which is gonna be awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think we're gonna get some great stuff with Baylan. I think this is really interesting that this is brought up, Brandon. I'm gonna have to do a whole video. I might mention this in my news roundup because I think one of the things I did not expect for them to tease about Ahsoka season 2.
Yeah.
Was they does this at this time sometimes. Yeah. I was very surprised to hear that they showed an image of Baylan.
Yeah.
Let me see if we can put it up on the screen real quick. I think I have
Definitely. It. I think it's a good choice, man. The Hound, that guy, he's a beast, man.
The fight will be pretty peaceful.
I can see. I think the lightsaber. Yeah, and you know my gripe was with the lightsaber fights in Ahsoka. I will say it was pretty stiff at times, or a lot of times actually.
That's because they refused to bring back Nick Gillen.
Yeah, and they refused to bring back Nick, and it's like, all right, cool, fine. If you don't want to bring back Nick, but you can't
bring back the GOAT, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's either you bring him back or you actually just do some solid lightsaber work where you.
There's a lot of things you got to fix to bring Star Wars back, but if you want to get the fans cheering and happy again, like the way they are at Star Wars Celebration, bring fucking Nick Gillard back, because that's the kicker of this of this Star Wars Theory animated movie, even though it's animated, all the choreography for the lightsaber stuff and the animation was pre-vised by Nick Gillard. Like Star Wars Theory and Nick Gillard are friends. So he called him and he said he was going to be a part of it. I would have thought because his NDAs he wasn't going to have to, but apparently not. Let's see, where's this image? Oh, he mentioned Nick at Celebration? What did he say about him? Let me a second to find this Balon image because I want you guys to see it. All right, Star Wars. Let me check that in a minute, guys. Just watch the chat for me, Chris, while I'm looking this up real quick.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's all good.
I have yet to get a Balin Black Series. I'm going to get a Balin Black Series and put him in the
and that's the thing with Nick, what I loved as well is that he even said himself, like when he was talking to Star Wars Theory, he even said like, you know, there wasn't, obviously there's choreography you have to do when it comes to this type of stuff, but the one thing about it was that it's just the sequences and then you kind of make it look flashy. And I think that's what we all appreciate about the lightsaber fighting, because that's what the prequel era was like. When you look at it, like the fighting style, it was just like flashy but still organized. The sequence was still there, you know. I don't think the prime of the Jedi fighting style for me is the prequel era though. I think the prime of it is probably the Old Republic, because that's between the Galactic War and everything. So everything has to be like pretty much out there and stuff. And that's why I do think if they do flesh out to the Old Republic, they need to start like, you know, doing that type of stuff with Nick Gillard and whatnot, because it's like without that, it's kind of like we're losing the touch of it from the Old Republic.
I think the prequel started, but I think we need to be. I think the height of the lightsaber choreography should be what we're getting now.
Yeah,
but
yeah, true. It should be. Yeah.
For the sequels, this should be where we're almost prime levels. We're getting all these amazing new Force users.
Yeah.
I think I got the image up, so I'm going to see if I can pull this up real quick. Is it presentation or is it share screen? So let's put this. Then this is a picture. It will be easier to pull up, which is nice. All right. Let's see this JPEG image. Where's the one I had pulled up on the thing? That's Hype Guy. Xmas. Is this what it is? Star Wars Celebration Ahsoka. Here we go. Put it on the screen. I have my main screen. All right. Now.
Yeah, I can't even. Like, he looks sick.
Yeah. This now. Okay. So why does it always do this? Where let's put our screen. Oh, it showed us, and then we vanished. Let me move the comment off the screen so we can see each other again. It's the comment from Brandon that's blocking our stuff. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. And I have another comment from you to read in a second, Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, where is?
But yeah, he looks sick as like Balin already.
Yeah,
we'll
catch up on those chats in a minute. But yeah, I love
the Hound version of Star Wars.
I love this look.
Yeah, this is good. This is a really good casting choice, recasting.
Also, I'll be honest, because I want to save money on stuff, I have the actual like a black cloak like Balin. It was torn between being Balin and Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
But like because of the whole Jedi stuff, I think next Celebration, because I always have a beard and stuff, I think I'm gonna be Balin in 2027. I think like I just gotta get an orange lightsaber. Like I'll probably get a series saber and get a cool custom made with the different colors. And I'll probably get like Balin's saber, and then do. So I think I'd love to fight with a heavier lightsaber, like just crazy, like just like a knight sort of lightsaber. I think would be fun. Yeah. And then I love this look. I love the saber. I love the face, and you can tell. And I don't know how they're gonna explain it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the two actors as the character look different.
Yeah.
I think it's because Balin has gone through a different level. And I think let's see. So what we got this. So I love this. I think this is fantastic. All right. So Brandon said another interesting one in a minute too. He said, okay. So he was also talking about when you're talking about the characters, when you're talking about Rory McCann, he talked about the Bad Batch, Captain Rex, Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger are my favorite of Filoni's original characters. Yeah, those are great characters. I love them.
Yeah, I think Kanan, Ezra.
Yeah, I love them. This is
Balin, probably my top 4 at the moment.
Canon timeline. We get stories with Nick, you're a character like how he survived Order 66, his conflict with Palpatine and Vader, but he eventually joins the rebellion, meets other characters, and there's Jedi like him. That's cool. We need Starkiller versus Ahsoka for season 2 or 3. I'd love it, honestly.
Yeah, Starkiller would be cool.
When we watching Clone Wars show and watching Revenge of the Sith, you don't see Ahsoka in Revenge of the Sith, but you can feel her presence in Revenge of the Sith. Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I was actually going to rewatch that great Clone Wars arc the night before I go see the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, that would be sick because I feel like, and the things as well, they kind of filled the gaps nicely as well. They didn't just like do it for the sake of it. They filled the gaps like when I think the simple thing was like when they were talking in the comms, like Yoda, Mace Windu.
Yeah,
and,
I just love that stuff. It's
that
just
stuff is just simple stuff. It's like okay,
they matter so much.
And then you watch it and it's like okay, now it adds up. So
yep. Oh, so also I like this. Oh, I'm sorry, Dark Side. Also at Star Wars Celebration for Industrial Light and Magic panel, Jar Jar's actor Ahmed Best revealed his used and inspiration in the choreography of Jackie Chan movie from Drunken Master. Okay, that's another thing I want to talk about for a minute. We got to talk about. I love that. I gotta remove this picture because I want to pull something else up for us.
Yeah.
We'll talk about billing because I had something else I wanted to pull up on the screen real quick. We should do this more often when we have the backgrounds here. I think it looks cool when we talk about stuff. Well, we can bring it up with them on the screen. Sent a picture in Legion. Okay, I'll check that out in a minute. I missed your previous message. I thought I answered it. What was your previous one? The thing about Nick didn't realize he was force sensitive until he was 17 or 18. That's pretty cool. What did Hayden say about Nick? I missed it. Oh, he mentioned it in the video.
You mentioned it. I saw that interview anyway of when he was there at Star Wars Celebration. So it was dope.
Yeah.
He just mentioned about how he helped with the choreography and stuff and thanked him for it because it's a great moment, man. I mean, when you look back at Obi-Wan and Anakin, like that fight is like that's still my favorite.
Yeah, it is one of most people's favorites. Okay, so Retrolite sent us a link to watch something.
I've seen the whole thing already, but if you want to watch it though, that's cool.
Let me see. I can't click on it without the link opening.
Yeah, it's a good watch, man. And it's crazy because Hayden used to get so much hate back when the prequels first came out, and then even after that. But now he's like a loved character, and it's like and it's like, well, it kind of should have been like that in the first place because he
Retro, can you send me a link so we can watch it on stream? Because I'm not able to click it from this chat. Where's the? Did you send it to me on Instagram as well? Let me see.
What else is there? I think after that we can talk about Visions because I think that's the only other thing I'm really looking forward to.
Oh, he's sending me a picture of Anakin and Ahsoka. Okay, so he's sending me a picture of the other stuff. Is that mom texting?
She might be texting you, but she's at Popeye's right now.
Oh, Chosen sent a picture with. Is that Anthony Mackie and other people with Charlie Cox? I don't know. All right, let's see. Traditional is typing. Here it is. Perfect. I found it. We gotta watch some Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, it's a good watch, man. It's not even that long.
Revenge of the Sith. Yep, we're looking forward to seeing it back in theaters. Yeah, I saw the picture. Oh, so that's pretty awesome.
I'm getting my tickets this week, hopefully this Friday, and then I'll see sometime.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I can't wait to see it. I gotta wear my shirt when that.
I want to go. I can't see in 4DX. So,
all right, let's do this. Let's watch this real quick. I like that.
Hayden Christensen! I will be the most powerful Jedi ever. I promise you.
I worried about the audio from the.
Look at this.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. What did he say? We start talking here. Okay.
Yeah, so, time flies.
Yeah. It's a bright, happy film. Bring the kids. It's a joyous celebration. Do you have any, you kind of grew up a bit on the set of Star Wars. Do you have some fond memories of Revenge of the Sith? Because at that point, Episode 2 had come out. You kind of had an idea of what all this was. What was different about kind of coming back for Episode 3?
Okay, so many amazing memories of filming Episode 3. And it's all still very vivid. It was 20 years ago, but it made such an impression on me, but everything from all the lightsaber fights that we got to do, and obviously the fight that Ewan and I did on our battle on Mustafar. That we had a blast doing that, and we trained.
I can't remember where he says Nick again. I think it's like, was it early or was it later on? I think I can't remember. I'm not too sure, but
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's okay. I'll watch it later. It's interesting. I remember I actually did watch that one when it was live, but I must have forgot what was said.
Yeah, I didn't see the one where he was with Rosario and Dave Filoni and stuff, but I'll watch that later on.
Okay, so let's see. We got more to talk about. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Imagine seeing stories with Nick during the final year of the Clone Wars, where we see how Nick's Jedi Master found Nick because Nick was brought in the Jedi Temple. That'd be sick. Did you guys check out the Mando and Grogu movie leak teaser? I didn't get to see it, but I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. Okay,
if you wanted to tell us what we saw here.
So pretty much from what I saw, it was kind of like, I think I only saw like a good 10, 15 seconds maybe at best, but it was kind of like action sequences, basically, like just Din Djarin doing Din Djarin stuff.
Ever since I would click on it, it would always say that it had been deleted and blocked already.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it comes out next year. I would have thought that they would have wanted it out to the public.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe they'll drop a trailer, teaser trailer, this summer or something. But I do feel like as it's coming out next year, it does need to be out at some point.
Yeah, they gotta give us some. They gotta give us some stuff for sure.
You know what I mean?
I from what I'm hearing about this movie, it's mixed that this is the first Star Wars movie that's coming back to theaters.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I love The Mandalorian. I feel like this movie, we've already done this.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just kind of annoying. The whole involving Jabba's son again is like, the whole movie about this.
Yeah, for real.
I heard even though that he's a big adult.
I do feel like they are hiding something though. Like they haven't said much. There's something that they're hiding that they haven't said yet. And
I do have a video coming out about that. They did confirm that Ambo is going to be a big bounty hunter in it.
Okay.
Which I liked him from Clone Wars, and apparently Dave Filoni is going to voice him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which will be cool. I'll be right back. Unfortunately, I got to charge my phone. No worries. So I'm down for that. I think an interesting bounty hunter stuff, maybe some different bounty hunters in the guild would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you guys this. I don't think, since we have Tales of the Underworld coming out soon, I don't think Cad Bane's dead after Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, you saying, yeah. No, because I'm sorry, that death in Book of Boba Fett annoyed me. It was
honestly, if he came back in this movie as a surprise, that'd be sick.
Yeah, because I just can't see him being dead because it's just he was a Jedi. He was a Jedi killer.
For the Hayden video, I remember what topic we were on. There was. So we're talking about, Brandon mentioned the thing about at the Light and Magic thing, Jar Jar's actor who plays the Jedi in Mando said he had inspiration from Jackie Chan's Drunken Master. That actually doesn't surprise me because he did say he was a martial artist and trained for years despite all the hate threats that he got.
Yeah.
Also, I know people don't like Jar Jar, but if we're going to bring that actor back after we only saw him in Mando Season 3, he was one of my favorite things about Mando Season 3. Remember, there's this whole mystery. A lot of people were disappointed when they found out that it was just Ahmed Best instead as a Jedi instead of a different Jedi. But even though we only saw a little bit of him, I want to see more of his character. Honestly, if Star Wars wants to get people's attention instead of Mando and Grogu, and maybe he'll be in Mando and Grogu because he's a part of that story. Yeah. But what I would have loved is a John Wick style movie of during Order 66. He just taking fools out.
Yeah.
John
That'd be
looks
dope,
out when
yeah.
they're all hunting him.
Yeah.
And he's just like with the lightsabers flaring around, going crazy. Because as much as I'm not a huge, as much as I've come around on Jar Jar, I know a lot of other people have. I'd rather see him play this Jedi. I think all my best is a good enough actor that I think the Jedi would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I think
We need more cool Jedi. So
yeah.
that's what said me.
I just think for Mando and Grogu, I just think that I feel like they have to go all out because of how season 3 was. Like they have to go out because of how bad season 3 was.
I hope that this movie is at least, if we treat this movie, is all this movie is just like a revamped the ideas of what they wanted for like a proper season 4. But as a movie, I'll be fine with that if the storylines are better than season 3.
Yeah.
Like I'm really crossing my fingers. One thing I hope that they're playing with the belt is one of my other fan theories is because I detest Mando season 3 is I just want them to pull the rabbit out of the hat and go, oh, you remember when Moff Gideon died in season 3?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That was my clone. I'm still here. Because you can't waste Moff Gideon, man. That dude came in late in the season, and then they just took him off the board. He was easily one of my favorite
That's what I'm
characters.
saying. I didn't really have a problem with his death, but I was just kind of like, I mean, he still could have been around though.
I already wrote an end scene for that show, where I wanted to see him. How do I explain this? I wanted to see him actually go and do his thing. Like I wanted to see, like I thought his end should be at Thrawn's hands, like because they were setting up in season 3 the whole Shadow Council thing, and they worked for Thrawn, and he was plotting against them, right? He thought the Council was working with him, so I thought they were going to pull an end credit scene later where Thrawn shows up and just blasts Gideon. Yeah. That would have been a better suitable death, I think, for his character. To show that the Empire is growing so much. And the whole point is by the time we get to Heir to the Empire, is even though the writing for Thrawn is stupid, I think it will improve. I think Dave is going to find some way in season 2, especially if we get rid of Kathleen soon, to actually bring Thrawn back to the roots that we want to see Thrawn be. I think they're going to do the Thanos thing. I think as much as people hated the writing in season 1, I think there's elements of it where even though they're making it like stupid, I think they're building him up like Thanos. Like I think they are going to build to him being menacing. Like, and hopefully they just get good writers to fix it.
Yeah, honestly,
There's a video about Dave talking about Rey retro.
Yeah, because there was Dave said there's an untitled film for 2027 or something.
Yeah.
But apparently that's supposed to be the Rey trilogy or something, so I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, who is this? A standalone Rey movie. There's a standalone there's a movie that's untitled that's by itself. And then there's a trilogy with Simon Kinberg that did the poor X-Men movies.
Yeah.
So now I think the trilogy is Rey based, but I wonder if that time slot is gonna be for fucking the Rey solo movie with that stupid director that hates men.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about when I made that video about her comments? Mm-mm. She said in her interview that her goal with Star Wars is to make men as comfortable as possible.
Oh, is that
why?
Yeah. Or is that no, this is a different.
I don't understand that. Oh yeah, she did say that. Yeah. I just don't understand that.
Apparently, the rumored response is what's happening right now. The reason they're not releasing the Rey movie is because they put this girl in the same situation that's going on with Rachel Zegler right now, where she's on Disney's lockbox of like they're locking her away until she gets a good PR manager. Really control what she can and can't say because she can't be trusted. Because she said the wrong thing about a movie that some people actually. There are Rey fans out there, and Rey fans
for sure. The thing is, I was a Rey fan until they just did their nonsense in episode 8 and 9.
If Rey wasn't a Palpatine, I could have been down with her character. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should have just made her Luke's long lost daughter or Han and Leia's long lost daughter or something. I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't even have minded if she was Kenobi's daughter.
Personally,
I wouldn't even have minded that.
The mistake that they did to Rey was the plan to make her related to someone popular. I think her character would have been stronger if she was just a.
I mean, it was always gonna be inevitable. I feel that they were gonna make her connected to someone. But I wish they would have done their original. I wish they would have done their original plan and wrote it in a way where it wasn't gonna be a character that was gonna be as prominent.
Yeah.
Like even because Obi-Wan's been dead for a long time, even with his Force Ghost.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I was a big simp of the Rey Kenobi thing because there was actually some pretty good evidence, especially in Force Awakens, with Rey. These are your first steps. And one thing I actually really liked was the idea of like we still don't know that much about Obi-Wan's history and what he did in between. Like, so there's some time missing there that we could have seen a child secretly that would be at a good age right now conceived. Like, it's pretty interesting. And it's much better than the it's much better than the dumb thing with her being Palpatine taking the whole situation and making him do the things that he's doing.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, any other time, if like the sequel trilogy was right and they said they were gonna do a solo Rey movies and stuff, I would have been all right, cool. But because of how it is, I don't really care for it. I'm sorry, I just don't think that the character's been fleshed out very well. So just leaving it where it is, you know.
Yeah, what's rating out? I can't play the trailer on Screen Retro because it'll get copyrighted because it's a trailer on there. But it's cool that you found it. I'll watch it later and do my own reaction to it. Is Disney officially replacing both the Rey movie and the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron with Ryan Gosling's Starfighter movie?
I think potentially they could.
What I keep hearing is they keep moving. They're moving the Rey movie, and they keep pushing it back because I don't know what the script is like for the movie. Like I know they have their director. They keep losing writers for the movie, so that's probably one thing that's going on.
Yeah, see, once you start losing writers, you really think they're gonna,
yeah, they're definitely losing
writers. It sounds like it's gonna be set up to fail. I don't want it to, but
I don't want it to because I actually would see like if they got a good writer and they got a good team and maybe they turn this around. Maybe as time goes on, we could see Rey's movie in some way. Maybe they're just hopefully fine tuning the story and come up with something good. And if they come up with something that's actually likable, as much as people hate Rey, if the movie's good, then people will watch it.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what character it is, as long as there's a good story to tell, then they might be interested in checking out the story. Episode 8, they should have been a flashback training the students with Mara, and Luke goes off to another world with Rey / her father. Ben betrays the Jedi Order and gets Vader's mask from Luke's collection. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
That would have been cool. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like I just still go back to that sequel trilogy, man.
That would have been if they did that, then they would have repurposed George Lucas's original plan for
exactly
he wanted to do at the end of
I mean,
Luke put on the
because even episode 9, I still remember reading the first original draft, and I was just like, I know it wouldn't have saved the trilogy, but it would have made it somewhat better.
I think Montreal had the best pitch for what they were going to do. I think they had the best plan for what they were going to do, and I think that was really, really what would have been nice because it seemed like they had a really good vibe for it. I really liked what I read. And I liked what I read because I wanted Kylo Ren to die as a villain.
Yeah.
Just making a really good villain for the trilogy. Having your villain. The thing people need to understand about these trilogies is you need to have consistency and you need to have things that like matter. Like, whatever they want to do with Snoke, mastering him betraying Snoke.
Yeah, Snoke was sweet, man.
Instead of bringing in Palpatine, I was okay with them wasting Snoke because it meant that Kylo Ren was going to
take over. Okay, yeah, I see that. I get it. So
that to me, I felt that like when he said I'm Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, that ended up working. So I was like, okay, well this like when I saw Last Jedi for the first time before I knew what they were doing with 9, well I had problems with Last Jedi. I liked the direction of where they were taking Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Like that they were kind of going, okay, well look, this could lead somewhere interesting.
Yeah.
Luke gets back to the temple burnt and dead bodies. Luke versus Snoke would have happened where Luke damages Snoke with the dark side. Luke runs off because his DNA is important to Snoke's Sith clone army. Yeah, that would be interesting. We don't need Palpatine back. What are you?
Yeah, we didn't need Palpatine back. I just think
I'm saying we need Palpatine back. But
we don't need Palpatine back. I think Palpatine
Are you
back.
talking about
We've had him for the first 6 films, and that was it. That's all we needed him for.
I mean, are you talking about just like bringing him back, like in terms of like other stories with him from the past?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I would love to see a Plagueis show of like a young.
Well, that's what the Acolyte should have been.
Yeah, I would have loved to see. I think Matt Smith would have played a good young Palpatine. Like that would have been so.
That's the one thing I was mad about Episode 9 is that was supposed to be the original plan, and then they scrapped it.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna do Palpatine, they should have took a page out of Harry Potter and did Tom Riddle. Where it was a memory of Palpatine, right? So maybe they could have done it where you had young Palpatine appeared to Rey, maybe tried to convince her, and then you had Kylo Ren there as well, and then you built around that. Yeah, Palpatine for a flashback. Well, yeah, I think we might get Palpatine in Andor, so you might still get to see Palpatine.
Yeah, we'll see Palpatine. I think it's possible. I mean, especially as it being close to like
I think
episode 4. So
yeah, Gosling and Sean Levy actually look interested in Star Wars. Yeah, I'm down for it. I think it looks good. Luke mind whips Rey and puts her back on Jakku. That would have been interesting if they went that direction. Yeah, your version I prefer. I definitely think. But with Mara, would Mara get killed in that story? What would be her arc to play?
I think that would be her. Yeah, I mean, it's either they'll probably. I feel like you could kind of kill her, but then also give her a backstory. Like you could explain who she is.
If they do a good job with her character, I won't care if she gets killed. If that her story, like maybe she got her own like anthology show, but then they have something else happen. There's a lot of stuff they could do, which I think is interesting. So, yeah, I think there's potential to do something like that, something that could be used in that way. I don't know what they would do, but I think that would be very interesting to have something like that happen. Like, I think there's potential for that kind of video. But, like, even in the course of the other stuff that's going on with these other projects, there's clearly some nice surprises going on. Like we talked about the game.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Hopefully we'll get news on Jedi 3 soon.
Yeah.
I like what I'm hearing about Visions so far. Visions sounds promising.
Yeah, Visions sounds. Yeah, I think Volume 1 and 2 was good for Visions. I think that was probably it was just different stories, man, and it wasn't focused on anything. It was just Star Wars. It was like Jedi, Sith, but then it was just like it could be anything, and then they just kind of went with that story.
That would have been an interesting story, Retrolad, having Rey's father is Luke's second in command in the Jedi Order. That would have been interesting. If he was a Jedi, that would have been very interesting. Yes, we did see the announcement of it.
Yeah, we saw the trailer yesterday.
We talked about it. I got to still react to it. We got to talk. Yeah. We talked about it a little bit. We're looking forward to that game. We think it's going to be fun. Do we know if that's going to be more story-based or is it going to be online co-op?
I don't know what they said. From what I know, it's online co-op. But
if it's online co-op, that would be pretty fun.
Yeah,
online co-op would be a good way to do it, I think. Because
if there is a story, I don't mind. I can just run through that. But then if it has both, I'll be cool.
Like obviously I want a good story, but like also to play a new Star Wars game with my friend, then turn-based would be kind of fun to play online together. So I'd be interested to see what that looks like. I think the idea of it sounds promising. Zero Company has a lot of potential in what they're gonna do. I think the screenshot that showed new characters and characters we hadn't seen, but also we get a lot of cool clones, which is always a plus. And also we got to talk about the what's it called, the Fortnite Star Wars stuff that's coming out on May the 4th.
Oh yeah, what's it called again?
We got a new battle pass, and we're Star Wars themed. You're gonna have Jar Jar. Darth Jar Jar's gonna get a skin. So that's pretty awesome. I heard they're working on the lightsaber.
That was a galactic battle. That's it.
Apparently, we're finally going to get lightsaber pickaxes for all our Star Wars skins, which is great.
Okay, that's cool.
The reason why Rey is so strong is because she's the best student at the Jedi, at Luke's Jedi Order, and Ben gets jealous. That's why he mentions her in Force Awakens. He says, "What girl?" Oh, that's interesting. I think Zero Company could be a strategic-based game. Well, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy lately, so I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I'm cool with that for now.
Strategic games are fun, and it's nice.
For real.
Unlike Outlaws, at least they're doing something different.
Yeah, I still haven't even played Outlaws. Like, I'm waiting for a sale on that game. If I'm being honest, like honestly, I don't want to shit on it because I've not played it yet. But at the same time,
I want to get people's attention. They should make the DLC for Hondo free.
Yeah, they should.
Because I'm gonna play through the game and finish it, just so that I can see the actual game, like just so we have, like, so I can actually play that Hondo story because I'm interested. Yeah, it does have themes. Very true, Retrolad. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII definitely has Star Wars themes. I'm starting to notice.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, no, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, so the Ahsoka stuff, like, so we have all the Mortis God stuff. We have heard Obi-Wan and Anakin will play a big role in the flashbacks and also in the Force Ghost present day stuff against Abeloth because of how powerful Abeloth is said to be. And they haven't revealed it yet. I'm surprised they didn't say it's Star Wars Celebration. But apparently Abeloth is going to be played by a popular actress.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And I actually think that, I don't know if we'll ever see Abeloth's true face, but I think that when I mentioned that we have details on Shin, I think Shin's role is she's going to start to be one character and be connected and created a certain way. But then I think Shin is going to go and she's going to, and when Shin does what she does, I think she'll first start rolling with those bandits she had at season 1. And then she'll start hearing rumors about where Balon has gone and find out that Balon is around his surface somewhere. And Shin may get possessed by Abeloth and be used as the vessel.
Because I think the only face you've really seen of Abeloth is like with like the large teeth and like
there were some
face, but yeah,
there were some rumors that she was gonna be that Abeloth was gonna that they were looking for some reason to bring Natalie Portman back into Star Wars against Padme, especially with Anakin having such a meaningful role in season 2. I assume that if they did do that, it would be Abeloth messing with Anakin.
Yeah,
I think whatever Anakin's abilities are able to be as a Force ghost to deal with being the father of the Force and all the stuff that Dave was setting up, I think that Anakin will be probably the one that's only able to confront Abeloth.
Yeah.
My real big hope is that I know that they haven't started filming season 2 yet, but my real big hope is that before that they secretly, when they film it, they secretly finally recast Luke Skywalker because I think Luke's gonna appear, like real Luke will appear in season 2.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of that as well. Yeah, I think so too. They need to because we can't keep using Mark Hamill with the CGI and everything.
They gotta recast.
Just recast, man. So get someone that looks similar to him, that as close as you can, and then just.
I know he's been busy with Marvel lately for this year, but if they get the filming done, I really want Sebastian Stan. I think Bucky Barnes could do it.
I feel you.
Yeah, I think he's good. He looks like Luke in an Empire. He's got the face.
Yeah,
I think he can do it.
I feel you.
Well, I'll definitely get to play all those hopefully soon. Retro. Do you know? Oh, he's talking about Final Fantasy with Retro. Yeah, no, I think that'd be interesting. I'm really interested. Apparently, it's a rumor. It's not confirmed, but I guess the big scoop is we're going to see. It sounds like Ahsoka season 2 is going to be what a lot of people wanted the ending of Rise of Skywalker to be against Palpatine.
Yeah.
Everybody actually made edits of it on YouTube with all different Jedi showing up.
Yeah, and
I think Anakin and Obi-Wan will get to have a moment with. I've heard rumors, even though he'll probably deny this himself because he's under NDA.
Yeah,
we'll see Qui-Gon in Ahsoka season 2.
It makes sense because if people remember, go back to the Clone Wars, he mentioned about this planet is like a vessel for the Force,
And
and
it's
how
pretty interesting
Anakin
that Diablo
is the chosen one. So
with the
like
Diablo
Qui-Gon got wind of it.
in the Ablash story, you had with all this stuff with the Mortis gods, Qui-Gon played a role in that arc with the Mortis gods.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could see this coming full circle as well.
Mm.
I think that would be interesting because it would be pretty cool to see what they do. I also noticed in the Star Wars Battle Pass they got Captain Phasma in there, and they finally added Finn. Oh no, they added Poe now because we already had Finn. We're not gonna talk about Finn though because we're not a big fan of John Boyega right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I even saw Star Wars Theory in his video talking about the Starfighter movie.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this movie's good so that Ryan Gosling doesn't go and call all Star Wars fans racist. Oh wait, no, he's a white dude. He won't do that.
That's on my taste.
Did you see Cameron Monaghan shared that Jedi Survivor has more merch for and Cal Kestis mullet action figure? No, that's sick though. I love the mullet for Cal Kestis. I love that the second customization. My favorite was the mohawk I had for Cal.
I definitely want to see Cal more in a live action somehow. Just like
we're gonna see him. It's
what
all
he'd be doing. Yeah.
Imagine if Cal makes a cameo in the Mando and Grogu movie, I would be down.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I guess so because
he's still alive, so I think it would.
I mean, I can't. Yeah, because I can't really because of how Cal's moving and how like his story's going. I can't see him linking up in. I can't see him in Ahsoka because like he doesn't necessarily know about Mortis and things like that. Because the order expanded at that time. So
something they're gonna have to answer as a question later that I wonder if maybe the reason this is one of my headcanon theories is maybe the reason that what happened to Luke happened in the sequels because they're trying to set up later that the other Jedi that are important as well also started running things later and just weren't at that temple because they were teaching in another temple. So what if Cal and Ezra are somewhere else and they're not at the Jedi Temple when Luke gets decimated?
Yeah.
Which is why they didn't appear in the sequels. Because they were elsewhere. But yeah, I think Luke's got to appear in Mando and Grogu. I agree with that. I think
so for sure. He needs to.
So it depends what comes first. Does Ahsoka season 2? They're filming it soon. So will Ahsoka season 2 come out first, or will Mando and Grogu be sick if Ezra, Luke, and Ahsoka team up in the movie? Oh, that'd be sick.
I think what will come first? I think Mando will come first because it's like Mando. I think Mando. How many years after is Episode 6?
If Mando comes first, then they might have Luke already cast before Ahsoka.
Yeah. Oh yes, they said it's 10 years after Episode 6. So yeah, I think
I could see them having that. I think if Mando,
I could see Mando first and then Ahsoka afterwards because of the timeline, everything like that. I think
live action Cal Kestis would be an incredible movie if Disney and writer people can bring in. Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
If they do a movie with Cal Kestis on his story where it leads in the continuation, I'd be down for that. Like I think that's a great potential thing.
Yeah.
Like whatever fate is at the end of Jedi 3, he's probably alive, and having him show up in the future doing stuff would be very, very awesome.
5 years. Oh, 5 years, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I would love a movie, especially after the games that they're going to end after the third game. I don't think there's going to be any more.
Yeah, no, they said there's not going to be any more. So this one's
going to be the opportunity to explore him in movies and TV shows. Mm-hmm. But I guess, would you rather have Cal Kestis appear in someone else's story, or would you rather him get his own story?
I don't mind. He can get his own story, but then I do feel like if he was to appear in like what other show could he? What other persons could he? I could potentially see him appearing. Maybe depending on how Ahsoka season 2 goes. If they do a season 3, I could see him being in Ahsoka season 3. Maybe without when Ahsoka and they're traveling and stuff. So
what would be really interesting because of the timeline that we're in is, I wonder with when Dave Filoni does Heir to the Empire, they're already saying it's going to be like Avengers Endgame for Star Wars, and like Infinity War. I could have a feeling that I think Luke, Ezra, and possibly even Cal are probably all going to be there.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So he's 53. Luke will be in his early 30s in the movie. Yeah, I think they gotta have him in. So I heard a rumor that Mando and Grogu were gonna go back to reshoots because in the current version of the movie right now, they don't have any big surprises right now. So they're saying they need to, before it comes out, there might be some changes to it. Nothing major, but
yeah, okay.
Had a scene with Luke in there or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Should Knights of the Old Republic era be touched from like an animated show or to a movie, or is the move of that too risky? I could see animation would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think an animated Knights of the Old Republic would be cool, like a CGI thing. I think, yeah, like I said, Disney have been on point with the animation so far. You know, there's only been like maybe 1 or 2 misses, but other than that, I think I can't see live action because I feel like once it goes to live action, we don't know what writers are going to be working on it. Are they going to be using source material? Whereas like animation, you can kind of get someone to do it like, okay, just do it in a way where like you have that.
Writers,
it's a completely different story. So, you know,
we would have to see who the writers would be and then see what plan.
Like live action is very skeptical right now, but animation, I could see something. I could see like a good, like a Tales, like if they were to do like a Tales of the Old Republic, like how they do with Tales of the Jedi, Tales of them, but like if they do it like Tales of the Old Republic, I think I'll be on board with that because then at least in that way we would get something short, but it's to the point.
Episodes of Tales be enough for would that be enough for that story? Do you think?
Because of how I personally know. I don't think it would be enough because there's a lot of content to cover with the Old Republic. There's a lot because it's the Galactic War era, so it's like
if it's animated or live action, the biggest move is I think you have to do it like I know Disney Plus operates in kind of that 6 to 8 to 9 ratio. Yeah. I think you got to do more than 9 episodes for that type of story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a good idea to have like 9 episodes of that sort of story. I think they could definitely do something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be really, really fun to have that kind of story. Like they have like 9 episodes, I think would be fantastic.
Yeah, probably 9, yeah. And the things about that, if they were to do like a Tales of the Old Republic, they could focus on different.
Something more than 9.
Focus on different Jedi's.
I think something more than 9 would be definitely the goal.
Yeah.
I think they got to do something that means something is meaningful.
Yeah.
Also deliver upon what's previously.
Yeah, because I could see like if it was a Tales of the Old Republic, I could see like an episode about Revan, an episode about Malgus, an episode about this person, that person.
That's what I really want to see is Mandalorian wars with the Jedi, etc. I think that's something they should. That's what I think they should be doing right now is going backwards, further than any of the previous characters that we existed, and dealing with new characters. So we're moving on to this material. Like that's why I hate that there's that article with James Mangold for Dawn of the Jedi that came out because I really wanted Dawn of the Jedi to be a story about what the sequels talked about, where they looked like a Jedi like Snoke's species, who was known as the Prime Jedi. That's one of the things why I think the Acolyte was a mistake. So if you're going to tell stories, the Acolyte should have been focused on the Sith, and they chose to focus on the Jedi and the Sith, right?
Yeah.
If they would have made the Acolyte should have been Darth Plagueis' master, the rising of Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
And that should have been the focus. And then you could still have Kamir there and stuff because I saw he was at Celebration. I know he's really hoping for his character to continue in some fashions.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Stalker has like I think he's just a villain that is just.
He should get his own project because I do think I Hate the Acolyte, that was my favorite character in the show.
Yeah, he was my favorite character. Like it was him. The guy from Squid Games, I liked his character. I liked Carrion Moss. I did like
character until they tried to make a statement about the 2 sisters going against him that he was the real threat.
Yeah, word. I thought like, what? Like that's not.
And you know they did that because freaking Leslie Hedman wanted her agenda shoved in about hating men.
Yeah, basically, and then
I just don't get how these creative decisions get greenlit. Like, who looked at that script and went, "Oh, they're gonna just go up against her"?
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Like, even that though, it's like, but even with her, yeah. Imagine a man doing that, saying like, "Oh yeah, you know, I want to make women feel uncomfortable." Like, that's gonna be like easy PR. That's gonna be straight PR. Like already, like you have to do.
Yeah, they better have that. Like, they better have that writer for the Ray movie locked away until she can get her shit figured out.
Because if men was doing this, if men was saying this stuff how they were moving, they would be fired instantly, like instantly. But because it's the other way around, it's just like it's not happening. I'm like, oh, but this is what I'm saying. Like, we're trying to be fair, but then you're just like saying all this other stuff. Like, so you know, I want to see Mandalorian.
I agree.
Yeah, the Mandalorian Wars would be sick because that was a time as well. Like, again, that's like old Republic era as well. I've been wanting to see like old Republic stuff being fleshed out. I want to see a Darth Revan film or some type of like series based on him.
I got to get something like that in the future. I do think that's got to be on the table
because you know he's been teased. Like, obviously he was made canon in Clone Wars. Obviously, like, well, not made canon, but obviously, like, he was just teased in Clone Wars, and you know, Bane was there as well. So it just became getting more. I think when I look at like Revan, he's probably the closest thing to like Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, because even though like Anakin didn't split in terms of like being a Force ghost and actually being a Jedi still, and then being like a Sith, like he had this Darth Vader entity there, like. Revan was kind of like, obviously Revan was split in two with like the light side and the dark side, but at least then it was like that's the only person that I could consider close to Darth Vader, because they're both very similar in terms of in that aspect of regard. But yeah, you know
of an actor that you think could pull off Revan that comes to mind?
I probably would have said Keanu Reeves, but I feel like he's older now, so it's just like.
Do you think he needs to be so young, or do you think he could be done with Keanu?
I feel it depends. I feel like if they're trying to go for like if they're going for the Galactic War, I do feel like it needs to be younger. Like, I mean, not so much young, but like I would say between like 30 and 40 in his prime.
I'm trying to think what age actors with long hair that kind of feel like Revan would be good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Let me have a quick look actually.
If we had a younger person.
Yeah, I could have seen.
I wonder if
Hold on.
I think we just gotta look at an image of Revan and see when he has his mask off.
Yeah, let me see. I'm looking. Ooh, what's his name from Batman again? Christian Bale. I get it because he's older. I could see an older Revan in him. Christian Bale.
He seems pretty done with all those other franchise stuff. Do you think he would come back to Star Wars?
Probably. Michael Fassbender. Okay, I hear it because he's got the long hair. Yeah, I could see.
Is Fassbender?
Yeah.
I was gonna look at. There was
I could see Rob Pattinson if he grew out his hair a bit more.
Thank you.
Rob Pattinson. I mean, I can still see Keanu for sure, because I mean, he's got the look. If he grows out that hair, the beard, he's got the look in it. You know what I mean?
If there was a way to do it where he didn't, now I know people don't like this option, but I think in some cases, deep faking a younger person can work. So if they were able to do it, it could work.
Yeah.
So I think honestly, we're not going to find. I've been looking through it and I've looked at some of the choices. I don't think you're going to find it better, because I don't know if you know this, but supposedly when they were doing the Acolyte, Keanu must have known that it was going to be a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah.
Keanu was supposed to be in the Acolyte. They were supposed to film.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he was supposed to be in it,
And I
but
think
he
when
said
we found
no.
out what they did to Carrie Moss from Matrix
Yeah,
when he passed.
he passed on it to do what was it, Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't blame him. Don't blame him at all. But I guess I could still see him as Revan still.
Darth Riven fan casting.
Or they could, I guess they could do it at a point where like he's split in half, where like he's the Force Ghost, and then you've got the dark element, you've got Darth Revan, who's the darker element, basically. So I guess they could do it that way for Keanu's sake at that point. But yeah, if we're talking the prime of the Galactic War, then I'm probably gonna have to say it has to be someone within there, like between at least 30 to like.
Ooh, okay, I could see that one
50.
too. Ooh,
Yeah.
he's a little old now, but he would have been good. Yeah, so I see a lot of different names being thrown on here. I don't mind. He would have to grow out his hair a little bit more than what we're used to, but the guy that played Punisher's rival in season 1 and in season 2, Billy Russo.
Billy Russo. Oh yeah. Hold on, let me
That's
see.
all
I haven't seen him in a minute.
Someone fan cast Robert Pattinson as Darth Riven. That's hilarious. Yeah, everyone's really pulling for the Keanu one because I keep seeing artwork from his samurai films.
What's his name? Ben Barnes.
of him
Yeah, Ben Barnes could actually work. I could see it.
He's younger, so I think it would probably be a better save.
Yeah, I can see it. He's got the long hair, the facial hair. Yeah, I could see that. If they could get him on board with the Reverend, then yeah, I could see it. I can definitely see it.
Yeah, I'd be down. I think Revan is just one of the coolest characters, so getting to see him adapted would be a must.
Different man. Okay.
Someone did a fan cast of different Old Republic characters. That's pretty cool. Oh, not more than just Revan? Oh, you sent a picture of the crystal in the chat? All right, so this guy wants Christian Bale as Revan, Emily Blunt as a character, Russell Crowe as Emperor Virtues, Eva Green as Bastion. That'd be pretty cool. Mads Mikkelsen as Lord Scrooge.
Okay.
Stephen Lang as Rooney Mara as Darth Nihilus. Interesting cast list. Some of these fan casts are interesting. Yeah, I say if I would do a video on it. Yeah, I think after those are the best ones.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, Ben Barnes, I can see it. I can see him as Reverend. Yeah, it's interesting to see.
Now I'm
think, is
looking
there
at
anyone who's...
Read up above that, Joe. It's cool. Technically, Revan is canon because Luke had his kyber crystal in the background of Last Jedi, and it's in the visual book.
Yeah, and Reverend was in he was in Clone Wars at the end of Clone Wars as well. So
you know my theory about.
So yeah, it's definitely like he's definitely canon. Like I don't care what anyone says. Even Darth Bane is canon. He was at the end of episode season 6 of Clone Wars too. So
that gives me an idea because you know what I thought about now is the fact that his crystal was with Luke from the book. The only one reason why he would still have his crystal.
Yeah.
Do you think he was contemplating after all the shit he was going through, finally turning?
Ooh. That could be, yeah. It's either that or he was studying the crystal.
Well, yeah, because I know Disney's been torn up about it, but I wonder if he was going to see what Ahsoka did with the. Maybe Luke was initially going to have a white lightsaber, like Ahsoka, and be part of that order. Because if you think about it, the last person to try and get their hands on a red crystal that was a Jedi was Ahsoka when she stole the Inquisitor's saber. And the book, she tries to bleed them backwards. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think that could be interesting. That's for sure interesting because I think Luke turning had a contemplating turning. That would have been. I think that probably would have been a better kind of story than flipping what we originally got. But yeah, that would have been cool. But yeah, I feel like that crystal he's got, that Redoran crystal, I definitely feel like it's either he studied it or he's trying to think about how to, or just how what is it like? Is do I embrace the dark? Can I embrace both or something like that? It just depends on how they kind of like look at it. I would have had Luke have gone for Qui-Gon's crystal to return the Jedi, and when we're back to Obi-Wan's hut. Yeah. I mean, even though it wasn't put in the films, it was stated that Luke went back to Obi-Wan's hut to like, I think to kind of rebuild his saber anyway. So like,
people never talk about anymore that I think is crazy is people never talk about the fact that Luke just plug my phone in for a sec.
Yeah.
That Luke was like when he's in possession of those items. Nobody ever talks about the fact that even though because of J.J. Abrams they made it like nothing, right?
Mm.
When they did the Knights of Ren actual flashback where we thought they were going to lead to something cool.
Yeah.
They actually had one of them, and I think maybe Kylo was the one that was in possession of it, but somebody actually had in the images that were released from the trailers and stuff. And I wonder if maybe they cut it out of the film, and maybe that's why it was only featured in some elements.
Yeah.
I have to rewatch to see if it's still in there. But you supposedly can see one of the knights has access to Luke's lightsaber.
Oh.
Which makes you wonder because in Jedi, when he threw it, so he never rebuilt that specific green saber then.
Yeah.
I need you to promise.
Which makes sense because in some of the books, I know he has yellow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he does have yellow.
I know some of the comics he had yellow, some of he had blue.
Because I think with Luke as well, like they tried to, I think, because I still feel like a lot of people don't really know what the colors of the sabers mean at times as well. So there's that as well.
About Luke's saber?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He mentioned he saw a video about that in 2015. But yeah, I do remember his because he went from blue to green to yellow. I don't know if it ever went orange. It might have done. I'm not too sure, but I know.
I just think it's dumb. Like if I would have wrote Last Jedi, I think this is the thing I have this is probably the scene I have the most issues with in all of the Last Jedi. I get maybe it was the nostalgia, maybe it wasn't, but it makes zero sense why the saber that Rey is trying to be claiming.
Yeah.
Luke has in his little like Doctor Strange level astral projection vision of fighting Kylo Ren. And I still think if you had to kill Luke in any of the sequels, Luke should have hopped his ass in that X-Wing and went himself to go and confront. So I think Luke is a character that if you're going to do different things from him than what you do with the previous source material, you want to make it good, give Luke the Obi-Wan death.
Yeah.
Like, let him be there, be a good wisdom mentor to these characters, and let him show up and properly have an actual lightsaber fight confronting his nephew.
Yeah, I was so pissed off when I saw that. I thought they were gonna have a fight, but they wasted that, man.
Sorry, Ben, but like he's like so pissed off about what's happening.
He was wasted. Like, you mean somebody used the force and then died because he wasted his energy of using that? I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I thought there was a book that explained it, but I wonder if they didn't explain it properly. Let me get my pajama pants on.
I don't think they did.
Because we're going to talk about, I think, one more topic, and then we can end it in a little bit. So I want to dive into my thoughts on the mall show in a minute.
Yeah.
I want to grab my. I got dinner to eat pretty soon, but I want to get PJs on real quick. These pants not uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's cool.
I really like the idea. Some of the stuff that's being set up and talked about, I really enjoy. I really like. Yeah, I think there's like it always blows my mind that some of the theories that we had for the sequels and the fans and the story ideas that we come up with just so much better than what we got.
Yeah, well, what did Retro say? They didn't explain how Anakin's lightsaber got in Force Awakens. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, the only thing we know about that lightsaber was it fell in Bespin, and that was it. So, and the thing is, the planet that they was on.
The reason they brought it back is that they just had to dub. They decided around that time when Rey got possession of it. Only when Rey got possession of it was it known by the Skywalker lightsaber title, which is fucked. So you can kind of assume that once Rey got her hands on it, that they were going to go with her taking the Skywalker mantle in some capacity.
Yeah.
Which I still don't agree with, because I think Rey would have been better as her own character, or if she was going to be connected to someone's legacy. Like, whatever happened to? Did Luke have possession of Obi-Wan's lightsaber?
Luke had. I'm trying to remember, because he did go back. I think when he was rebuilding his second lightsaber after the fight with Vader, he did go back to Obi-Wan's heart for something, like his diary and a few pieces to fix his.
Because
to make a new one or something. So
when a Jedi dies, their lightsaber doesn't come with them.
Yeah, so I think no, because Vader still had possession of Obi-Wan's lightsaber. So,
did he keep it when he
Yeah, he kept him when he killed him. He picked it up and kept it. So,
Vader, what did he do with it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I still don't know to this day what he done with it.
Not to keep trophies like that, so he. Unless it blew up and got lost somewhere when the Death Star blew up.
Yeah.
For 2016, what are your top most anticipated movies for next year? Ooh. It's an interesting question.
2026.
I think we definitely got Avengers Doomsday up there.
Brand new day.
It's crazy they're both coming. There's two major. It's weird that we got 3 Marvel films this year, and then there's
what's coming out next year? I have to see towards the end of the year what's coming out.
Oh, final note, to see my review for this. I wanted to let you guys know, even though this is a little off Star Wars topic.
Yeah.
I think whatever Ryan Coogler is doing with Black Panther 3,
we
put on hold so that he can come in and fix Blade.
Okay.
Because watching Sinners, I'm convinced that Ryan Coogler gets how to make a vampire movie.
He can do it, yeah.
I think he could do Blade. And I'd be down for it. So I do want a good Blade movie. I will say this, like I just am over. I think I'm over Mahershala Ali. Just because
the time's passed now, unfortunately.
If I'm down with an old Blade, but it's got to be the right actor.
Yeah.
And after the resurgence in Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm sure he'll be in Secret Wars and all that shit. But I want a rated R standalone Blade movie. And even though Wolverine is a violent character and they did a great job with Logan, there's so much heart to it. I want, like, you ever see the Indonesian movies The Raid?
Yeah.
I want The Raid with vampires, bloody gore fest. And since it won't be Deadpool and it would be Blade, it can be serious and be gritty. So I feel like that's the thing with Deadpool as a character. He's so hilarious and stuff that you lose the gritty moments. that's why I loved with Deadpool and Wolverine or not Deadpool and Wolverine. That's why I like to have a Daredevil because you get with moments like Kingpin and stuff, you get to see the grit and there's no jokes behind it. You just feel the weight and the gravity of it.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, what was the last topic you wanted to do before we head off?
Is the mall stuff.
More stuff. Okay, cool.
So we're getting this mall show. Sam's involved with it. This show absolutely is my most anticipated project, other than Star Wars Theories doing
Yeah, the Vader. Yeah,
Vader.
I think this is the best news we've gotten.
Maul's my favorite character. I love that it's going to be after Clone Wars. The biggest question is going to be if it's after Clone Wars. Maul probably has, because Maul have a lightsaber in the show. I don't think Maul's built his Rebel saber yet. So
no, he hasn't.
Maul probably has the same saber he had during Clone Wars Season 7.
Yeah. I think for this,
it's about a Maul solo project, anything right now.
Yeah, I get it because this is supposed to be like this was supposed to be George Lucas's Episode 7, isn't it?
Yeah. I still want his game, man. I still want my Maul game.
Yeah, I think a Maul game would be.
A Darth Maul game where you're hunting the crime syndicates. No, what I really hope, one of the things I think Star Wars focused on, one of the things I think I like Maul more than any other character right now is because Maul's timeline in Star Wars is one of the most interesting timeline. Is G.I. Joe? Oh, is Transformers G.I. Joe 3? Yeah, I forgot about that. That comes out next year. I would take the Batman 2 out of that list. It's not coming out in 2026. It's coming out in 2027 and possibly years beyond. But we'll see. That's a good list, though. So, yeah, Maul being set a year after Season 7 of the Clone Wars is pretty interesting. I really like. Now, I haven't seen the leaked trailer, but I've seen the images. I love that we're getting Talon. It seems like confirmed. We knew he'd have an apprentice.
Yeah.
I really do wonder, because I know Dave Filoni is, because this show being after Clone Wars means that he doesn't have to deal. Dave Filoni shouldn't have to do any retcons, because we know what Maul ends up at the hands of Obi-Wan on Tatooine and Rebels.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But I do wonder, because, and I know Star Wars fans will be mixed about this, I do wonder if Dave Filoni has been thinking a lot lately that they're running out of good characters, right? And I do wonder if he's considered, in some way, shape, or form, considered some sort of, like, if he's totally happy with Maul being dead in Tatooine, or because I know Sam has kind of said that he's kind of got two answers for it. Like he feels it was the right peaceful time for Maul's character, the way he went out. But I think also Sam wants to play more Maul no matter what he gets the chance to do.
Yeah, of course.
So this show doesn't have to confirm that he survived. Yeah. But like you say, if they borrowed ideas from what was eventually going to be George Lucas's sequel,
there's
a decent chance that something could happen in here that does change what happened with Maul in Rebels.
Yeah, for sure.
As much as I don't like retcons, I don't like changes. If it's a good story, like I know people might think this is crazy. If when Star Wars announced Maul was coming back the first time, I'm like Palpatine. I'll be honest. I'm not anti-Maul Resurrection as much as it was a nice ending that they got in Rebels.
Yeah.
I think Maul's one of those characters. What if the end of the Maul series, Talon betrays Maul and traps him at Malachor Rebels? That's something a lot of people have theorized about.
It could be interesting.
It's possible. Talon is supposed to be quite powerful. I hope that she has a future beyond this show. So, yeah, I think so. I really just want, especially because everything that Maul's been back with, I want another powerful. He doesn't have to be Maul, because obviously I know Maul's time is done. But I want another powerful member of his species being used as a Darksider in the future. Like, one of my theories was at the end of Ahsoka Season 1, when Thrawn was loading those crates and having that army taken somewhere,
Yeah.
I think his plan, the reason he wants to go to Dathomir, is, and I don't know if this is confirmed, this is just theorizing, nothing crazy. I know they can't keep bringing back Maul and turning him into like one of those crazy zombies or anything.
Yeah.
They could resurrect Savage.
Ooh, that's true.
And
Savage was interesting enough. Like, I mean,
unlike Maul, Savage hasn't really had his time. So
yeah, he's not at his time. Yeah.
Him being stabbed just like Maul was cut in half and Savage was just stabbed. And it took magic to make Savage what he is. So it took magic to bring Savage back.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to touch on before. And then Talon goes her own way. Main villain for Cal and Jedi 3. That's how I do it. Yeah. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
But then how do you bring back Talon? Because I feel like if Jedi 3, if you're going to go that route, we're going to go back Dathomir and all that other stuff, we got to have Maul and Talon there together in Jedi 3.
Yeah, I think. But I mean, if she does trap him, she wouldn't. I don't know if she would head back to Dathomir though. That's the only thing.
I wonder if they do that. If she traps him, maybe both villains appear in the game. Maybe they're not aligned.
Yeah, it could be different types of thing. True.
I love that they're actually going to use George Lucas's actual storylines though for this animated project.
Yeah, they need to after completely scrapping the original stuff he had for the other three films. So
I'm glad that Sam is going to be in charge of a lot of this project. I really hope though, because I've been full before getting excited for lead characters getting their own projects with what happened with Boba, right?
Mm-hmm.
They better not change who's Maul's characters. They better not do some peaceful resolution BS here. Like just how like Maul's like, just how like Boba's like, I'm gonna rule Mandalore. I'm gonna rule Tatooine with respect. Because this show, if you remember from Clone Wars, even though they only showed it briefly, Maul had already started his crime syndicate in Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, he already did. Yeah.
So if they do this like what George Lucas's original trilogy was going to be, Maul should be in the role of Palpatine, but not for the Sith.
Yeah.
And so what I think they're going to do is Maul is going to be in charge of all the crime families. And yeah, Talon looking for holocrons is a cool idea. So I think Maul would be literally running around. And I noticed in the trailer, I think Maul might be facing off, which is why the Malachor theory makes sense. I think Maul might, based on the leaked Sith scene, I think Maul will be fighting Inquisitors.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because, yeah, I get it because even though he's smart, even though Maul is still a Sith and that, like, he's not exactly, he ain't really a part of that order that the Inquisitors.
He's not doing the lineage the same way that the rest of the Sith, like what Palpatine's vision is.
Yeah,
he's creating Darksiders, but he's using them to make his empire more powerful.
And then, like, and the Inquisitors ain't exactly like. They're not exactly aligned. They don't really align with him anyway.
I wonder if this is the closest we're going to get to what a Solo 2 or like a Solo show would have been in terms of Maul's storyline.
Probably.
How many years after Clone Wars do you think? I wonder when Solo is, because when did he grab Kira?
What's that, Solo? How many years after that was? I don't even know how many years. That was, I'm sure that was at least 10, maybe.
Because we know it's after, we know it's before A New Hope, but it's after certain events in Revenge of the Sith.
Because Rebels is 5 years before New Hope, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so I think I could say Solo maybe like 10, 15, maybe around the same time, just depends. Yeah, I guess I
also heard they released a new book at Star Wars Celebration that was announced.
Yeah.
Of Vader, where Vader is actually apparently he's finding a way through dark magic to try and bring Padme back.
Oh wow.
So I wonder if they're going to touch on the Anakin goes to as Vader to Padme's grave.
Mm.
It's interesting they're doing this stuff with books because
Yeah, with the books they can have all that freedom, you know. It's
is
very creative. With the
Maul,
books.
is Maul in charge of Crimson Dawn before Solo? We will see Kira. It's 10 years and 2 years before Obi-Wan / Jedi 2. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Oh, accurate. Did I ever tell you my pitch for if we do get an Obi-Wan season 2? What I want to have happen?
Yeah.
Because I personally think one of my biggest, as much as ever, was wanted problems with Obi-Wan season 1. Vader and the Empire should never have been the main threat in the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah.
I always said the better Obi-Wan show is if Obi-Wan stays on Tatooine, even though we have it happen in Rebels. I think before Rebels time, when Obi-Wan's at his peak level still,
Yeah.
we need one more proper fight with Obi-Wan and Maul before the Rebel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or you write it in a way where Maul gets away so it doesn't contradict anything.
Yeah.
And what I would love is the whole story is Obi-Wan is trying to protect all the people and all the Jedi in the path of everything.
Mm.
But maybe what they build it up is maybe we don't see Maul till the very end of the show. Ooh, that's a good theory. What if in the Vader book that Vader uses the dark magic to bring Abeloth and it's Padme? Ooh,
That's interesting.
That'd be interesting if they do that.
Yeah, because I mean, like he was quite like obviously when she died, he was obsessed like with her coming back and stuff.
That'd be interesting to see Leia in her teen years.
Yeah,
there's young actors that could do that.
Yeah, Leia in her teen years, that would be cool too. That would be cool.
He said, "We did it in Rebels. She's 15." So Raphael doesn't, I guess, care about.
Yeah, true. They did with Luke and Leia in Rebels. There, they were 15.
Yeah, I think the Abeloth was interesting, and I don't even know because I've heard rumors about Natalie Portman. I'm like, here's the interesting thing, right? It says popular actress. It doesn't say who it is. They're keeping it a secret. So maybe it ends up being done that everything's just done all by Natalie Portman, which would be an interesting twist. Maybe because Abeloth knows that Anakin isn't her main threat, maybe she really wants to fuck with him.
Yeah, I think that's the purpose.
For project, what popular actress would want to be something so sinister in Star Wars? And I'm really excited about the inclusion of Abeloth in Ahsoka season 2, is because when we got the article that we talked about the other day about how Tony Gilroy says there's a secret Star Wars horror project in production. I think I've seen people have different takes on this. I think Star Wars 100%. It's time within their genre space to start doing horror stories.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I saw Den of Nerds from Josh. He was saying he doesn't think that's what Star Wars is, and I'm like, bro, who are you to say what Star Wars is? You talk about Marvel most of the time.
Yeah, Star Wars can get. I feel like with the right people, it can bring up a horror aspect of it, for sure. Like, it just depends on how they do it, really, and what type of thing they do.
Well, I heard a rumor, Retro. I'm glad you mentioned that. I heard a rumor we might still see Snoke's second apprentice, because I heard a rumor that after we talked about earlier before they announced this movie, supposedly in this, what I'm being told about this Starfighter movie, supposedly Ryan Gosling is going to be a Jedi in this movie, and supposedly in the week earlier, before we knew about, we heard rumors about Gosling's casting before we knew he was going to be around.
Yeah,
we heard that they're including a new Sith in one of these new projects, and something that was stated a while ago was that the Sith was going to be played by Jesse Palantine or whatever from Breaking Bad, the actor, and a lot of people believed him to be a Sith. I've been kind of making the theory that this is 5 years after Rise. What if the way that we pick things up and start with new antagonists after something is gone?
Yeah.
That Snoke's other apprentice, who would be older than he probably was back in the day, comes back for revenge against these other Jedi that are still around in this timeline, in the new era.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's interesting. They could go with that because, yeah, I want to know who this is second apprentice really is because the fact that he wasn't really featured like that or even mentioned at all in 22 like after, it's like, well,
There might be a player more because Ryan seemed to drop notion of his character.
Yeah.
So Ryan Gosling teached by Ray. That's not confirmed. We don't know what Ray's role is going to be. I mean, it's possible that there could have been other. Like I said, my popular thing that people need to stop being so close-minded about. Just because Luke died and Luke taught Ray, Luke is not the only Jedi around
at the time. Yeah, he's not. He's not.
So it's possible that Cal could have known Ryan Gosling's character, or even Ezra.
Yeah.
Because Ezra and Luke have always been so different. I actually think if Ezra...
Wait, how many... So I think the sequel trilogy is, 40 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Cal would be about, 60? No, hold on.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, he would be about 60.
He would also be older than Luke, so he... And actually, in some degrees, as much as people love the Skywalker legacy, there's a decent chance that in the new Disney canon Star Wars era, that Cal Kestis is the most powerful Jedi. Because he's inhabited the dark side and the light side. He probably is I still personally have the headcanon that Mace is alive teaching a secret order of Jedi. That all have purple lightsabers.
Yeah, it's possible. Because they did say that Mace is not exactly dead, but
yeah, they keep trying to pretend he is, but then there's whispers. Other things. I wanted to in Last Jedi to have Kylo go to where Vader's castle is for teaching. At the end of Force Awakens, Snoke said, "Bring me Kylo Ren. I will complete his training." Yeah, I agree. Well, I think this is gonna wrap the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go eat and I might take a little nap.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna be back with The Last of Us and make a lot of videos.
Yeah.
Are you gonna still be around tonight, Chris?
I'll probably be in bed still. You know.
No worries. Well, it was great having you guys.
Yeah, man.
Star Wars Celebration.
All right, guys. We'll see you next weekend, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of these now. I really like talking to Star Wars about you. You and I have a similar, like-minded vibe, and I think not only do we have our podcast this week, but actually, now that I think about it, maybe what we'll do for next episode, since we don't have a lot of topics right now.
Yeah.
But we'll have seen the first 3 episodes of Andor.
Yeah.
We won't see Andor when we talk on Legions yet, because it'll be before Andor comes out.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
So we can probably turn episode 2 of this into our Andor season 2 3 episodes discussion.
Yeah, definitely.
That might actually be good to do for our podcast for every week.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get 3 episodes of Andor every week apparently.
Yeah, okay, that's good then.
We'll always have 3 to talk about. Instead of just doing 1 episode per week, it'll be 3.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See you next one, man. Peace.